Arkansas football begins in 16 days.
It's relentless. It's all the time. So I really learned a lot from Kirby about the passion of recruiting. I've done well recruiting in my life, but he prepared me more for this head coaching job. I appreciate him.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
People who really want to have a good time won't come to a slaughterhouse. We've got entirely too many troublemakers here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
I don't like you because you're dangerous. That's right. I am dangerous.
Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
I hit the 7-iron like John Daly hits the 3.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
You just gotta keep living, man.
And Tommy Kraft.
We follow orders or people die. Are we clear?
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes, sir.
It is a recruiting Thursday here on the Morning Rush. Richard Davenport is on vacation, so we're going to get a national perspective this morning around 8:40 as Sam Spiegelman of Rivals is going to be joining us. He was one of the people that posted a story about Shamar Easter committing to the University of Arkansas. And on the subject of recruiting, when you look at this football program, the coaching staff, this team, what can they improve on so Arkansas enhances its football recruiting? You know what? Sometimes it's just easy to make fun of someone. And Texas, they keep doing it to themselves. Some of you have seen the video of a selection of their players performing a bicycle routine. Now, a lot of it was made of the Kansas State players lip singing and performing a Justin Bieber song. There's about 15 or 20 of them, and people are calling for them to be removed from the Big 12. Well, this is pretty bad, too, if you're a Longhorn fan. It's also Hot and Spicy Food Day. I was thinking about it yesterday. I wish Arkansas had a hot chicken place. Well, there's a place in Fayetteville, Arkansas that I'm going to have to try at some point, but we'll get into your favorite hot and spicy foods later on coming up here on the Morning Rush.
Hey, man, we're, 16 days out now from getting this baby kicked off. I was in Fayetteville a lot yesterday, and you just start to feel it a little bit. You know, the weather the last couple of days hadn't felt like August. We may end up getting back to that, but, you know, kind of a rainy, kind of a fall feel. There's a little fog as I came in this morning out there, not heavy fog. We're, you know, in on the way in the studio. It's just, you know, you got to start tasting it a little bit here as we're getting, just over 2 weeks out now.
It was raining, drizzling on us a little bit during our water volleyball game last night. Luckily, it wasn't lightning or anything, so we were still able to play. But I enjoy when it's not 90 to 100 degrees. It definitely makes for any outdoor activity, outdoor basketball, golf, whatever we're partaking in at this time of the year. A little easier to stomach when it's not 90-plus degrees.
Never complain about August rain, ever. Just always remember that. And I know the team has been the last few days going through morning workouts rather than the afternoon heat, so I'm sure they've enjoyed the respite from what has not been a hot camp this August by any means and compared to previous seasons. But one of the things Sam talked about after the scrimmage last Saturday, and I know we spoke to it earlier in the week, but we're seeing it unfold as the week goes on, is these, you know, mid-morning, late morning, to me, though, anything past about 7:30 is late morning at that point, but they're having practices much earlier in the day than they have been and wrapping them up by late morning. His goal is to prepare them more for earlier starts and to be better in the first half in 11 a.m. games. Now, I think it's inevitable Arkansas is going to play, you know, 2, 3, 4 of those contests anyway. I think, you know, the idea of playing at 6 o'clock most Saturdays is not going to work, or 2:30, that's not going to work. So, I mean, there's only really 3 windows. You're going to play at 11, 2:30, or, you know, at night. And so I think that I'll be interested to see if what you're doing in August and this week before you get classes started, Ty, can actually translate to better starts in those road games and those 11 a.m. games that you've got coming up this year that you don't even know about yet.
Classes start next week, so these guys will have today, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday before they get immersed in not just football but schooling. And again, we're only 16 days out from Razorback football, and I know they're chomping at the bit to get on that football field and see Rice. We spoke to that. The Razorback Foundation is giving away tickets for season ticket holders because they're trying to fill out that stadium, because you want to get an incredible atmosphere from the jump, and hopefully those tickets that have been allocated to several different people will be used. And if you're not going to use your tickets, I mean, I know you want to sell them if you can, but if you can't seem to sell them, then try and give them away because you want a good atmosphere from the jump. And that kind of ties into what plays into recruiting is having an incredible place to play a football game, which we all know Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium is. And I would not say it's at the level of Bud Walton. It's not at the level of Baum-Walker Stadium relative to the other schools in the Southeastern Conference. Bud Walton, I've been to Rupp Arena. Bud Walton's a better atmosphere. I haven't been to some other baseball. Duty Noble looks incredible. I've been to Alex Box. Really, I think Duty Noble is the only competition for Baum-Walker Stadium. Vaught Hemingway's, they have the beer showers, but it's not as pristine, I think, as Baum-Walker Stadium. And really, Arkansas has an incredible football stadium. You'd like to see it packed out for that game one to impact the recruiting visual side of things immediately.
I mean, you say it's a great atmosphere and stadium. I don't think we know. I mean, I don't think you know because you've not even been close to having a full stadium since they built the North End Zone expansion. So we don't. The Texas game will be the first great opportunity to see what the potential of the atmosphere can be like in a closed full. And I don't think because of the rise in the Delta variant and just what's going on in the world out there. I don't want to dive off into that, but I mean, we all know what's going on in the world out there. Unless there's drastic improvement over the next, what would that be, 23 days or whatever to the Texas game, I don't know that you're going to, just because of that, have a 76,000 person full house even for that game. Under normal circumstances, be busting at the seams. So, you know, I agree with quality stadium, all that, but I'm interested to see, can it be louder than 2010 against Alabama? You would assume, but, you know, I'm interested in finding out.
I had a buddy last night tell me that he's trying to sell. He's got a suite and tickets on the 50-yard line. He's going to try and sell those 50-yard line seats. But he did say, Ty, if I can't sell them, you can have them. And I looked at him and I said, you know what? I'll jump on that sword. I'll lay on that grenade, and I will sacrifice
for the Rice game?
For the Texas
game, okay.
The Texas game, if that ends up being the case. But that's weird to even think that he wouldn't be able to sell them or
he'll be able to sell those.
Get advantage of. Yeah. But to your point, there are some people that have season tickets and have other tickets that are at least contemplating. They haven't fully decided, hey, I'm not going to go to this game, or I am going to go. Some have decided I am going to go to this game, but there are still people on the fence that are like, I don't know if I'm going. Now I'm going. Regardless of what happens. You said you're not going to go if they make you wear a mask, which I don't think we're going to be headed in that direction. But
hope not.
It's weird to think that a month or two ago we were talking about this is going to be a sellout, this is going to be a sellout, and I think we've kind of reverted directions a little bit for the Texas game on that.
Well, I just think seeing what's going on and then getting the picture a little more in focus on where we're at with season tickets. Now, they've sold some single-game tickets, so that isn't a full look because they've had those mini plans that include the Texas game. Not everybody bought the Rice game in that. They've had single-game ticket sales, so but it's pretty clear that, you know, the Rice game is nowhere near full at this point, but I never expected it to be.
Seems like basketball's not having much trouble. They put out something yesterday.
That's what winning will do for you.
Yeah, Joel, and I don't know if y'all have heard about this. There's less than 2,000 season tickets left for Arkansas men's basketball. Mm-hmm. Think about that. Over 19,000 in that arena. There's less than 2,000 season tickets left. Little tidbit, little asterisk on that. No lower bowls left for season tickets.
All right, the last holiday weekend of the summer is coming up as we crank up football season and kind of wind down summer. The Labor Day is always full of plans, whether it's football, pool parties, tailgating, backyard barbecues, the last trip to the lake. Labor Day weekend has become a traditional family time for friends, family, and football. But sadly, the holidays also become one of the deadliest times, with drunk drivers endangering themselves and others here in our state. It's illegal to drive with a blood alcohol level of 0.08 or higher, and if you do, the consequences are severe. You go to jail, you pay thousands of dollars in fines, you got to hire an attorney, then you got to buy and install one of these ignition interlocks that you got to blow into a tube to even start your car. It's all expensive, and you got to pay for it, and it will change just the way you operate every day. Doesn't sound like any fun to me. So enjoy the Labor Day holiday coming up, but think before you drink. Drive sober or get pulled over. It's brought to you by the Arkansas Highway Safety Office.
Sometimes it's really easy to make fun of someone, and Texas just keeps adding fuel to the fire. I'll tell you what they did next.
You know, the start of the season is just around the corner, and if you're into sports betting, Bet Online is where you should go to win some money today. Whether it's live bets during games or future bets on who you think will win the championship, Bet Online has all the latest odds, news, and information for all your online sports betting needs. Visit the website today or use your mobile device to join and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. So before the next big game or before the season starts, head on over to Bet Online and start playing today. That's Bet Online, your online sportsbook experts. Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sacalé, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Tanya Tucker said when she died, she may not go to heaven because she didn't know if they let cowboys inside. Psalm 24 answers her question. Only those whose hands and hearts are pure, who do not worship idols and never tell lies. The only one qualified to meet that standard ascended after he died to pay the way for you to go inside. Believing in Jesus means he won't condemn us, and the only will be hotter than Texas. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Sizzling savings for you. Just choose from a red-hot selection of Rath road-ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center, and take advantage of discounts up to $5,300 below retail. That discount can go a long ways towards helping you get the nicer, newer car, truck, or SUV you've been wanting at a price and payment you can afford. If you're not ready to trade, let us take care of the car you have in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Better yet, click, call, or come by today and start driving better in a Rath road-ready vehicle and take advantage of discounts up to $5,300 below retail. But don't wait. A smoking deal like this can't last forever and absolutely ends August 31st. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced.
Wheels RV in Springdale wants you to seek out all the Natural State has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels RV was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. 5 miles west of I-49, exit 72. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
ESPN 95.3.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Jeremy Davis has missed one today. Jacob Skinner will hold it. The kick is up. Arkansas wins.
Don't forget about dollar sausage biscuits at Hardee's this Friday in Fort Smith, Northwest Arkansas, and Sallisaw locations.
Back here on the Morning Rush, there's a video that surfaced of Texas players pretending to be a bicycle. Why? Hopefully we can explain it in just a sec.
Hey, we're brought to you by, in part by the Arkansas Department of Health, who's reminding you to get the information, make a great decision, and if you haven't gotten the vaccine yet, consider joining nearly 1.2 million Arkansans that have. Yesterday, the daily count of COVID-positive cases in our state was nearly 2,700 folks. We're seeing hospitalizations still well over 1,000 in our state, so there's an option out there that will keep you safe and keep you from getting severe COVID that continues to be rampant across our state right now. If not for yourself, consider kids, your grandkids that are under 12 who aren't yet eligible for the vaccination. They're free. It's available and easily accessible to all Arkansans 12 years and older. Hey, learn more. You can find the nearest vaccine location near you. Get more facts about the vaccine at healthy.arkansas.gov. That's healthy.arkansas.gov or call 1-800-985-6030.
This has a very Ole Miss-esque vibe to it. Now, the Ole Miss baseball team is widely known for putting out videos, TikToks, and various things that get made fun of, not just in SEC country, but all over the country. And if you hadn't seen it, I would encourage you to do so. You played the bicycle game when you were either a kid or with Dylan or daughter as a father, correct? I remember playing that with my dad.
When you say the bicycle,
or the airplane or bicycle game.
Oh, yeah, but I don't remember doing the bicycle thing, but yeah, the airplane deal.
Airplane, bicycle, just something of that nature where you try to reenact something. And as a kid, you love it because you think it's the coolest thing ever, that you're on top of the world. Well, this is just weird for Texas to be doing something like this. And it's so easy to get in Longhorns fans' heads because I saw several fans, not just Arkansas fans all over the Big 12, the SEC, again, all over the country were laughing hysterically at this video that showcased. And Texas fans were ticked that their players did this and embarrassed the righteous and deserving fan base that's out of Austin. And so it was really, really entertaining to see the destruction on message boards and everything that went into the video that was posted. Just a simple video of them reenacting a bicycle.
Well, I mean, it's amazing what fans will latch on to. I guess the older I get and the older some get and the less you pay attention, and I don't have a TikTok account and all these things that where these things seem to really grow legs and get conversation going. I think probably the older the fan, probably the less you know about it.
Yeah.
The younger the fan, you're probably pointing fingers and laughing a bit more. And if it was anyone other than Texas, we wouldn't even be talking about it. But this is, I don't care so much about the bicycle routine, but this is what I'm talking about. Why you want Texas and OU in your league? There's just going to be more and more of this type of conversation that we get to. Poke fun and have a good laugh every now and then at the Longhorns' expense.
We always talk about how much money Texas has and they can't win championships. Their athletic department, is it 160? Is it 160 million?
I haven't looked in a while. They've been well. I think it's probably higher than that at this point, Ty, because you just look at where some of the SEC are at, and yeah, they're in that upper crust, top 5, top 10 in the country traditionally in revenue, and I would probably say closer to 100. And of course, after COVID last year, everybody's numbers are going to come down a little bit. But 170, 175 million would be in their neighborhood because they operate near the top of college football.
And Tommy, they really haven't been even close. Yeah. Like they had the year in 2009 where they got to the national championship. Colt McCoy got injured and lost. But outside of that, there's not a specific year that you can look at and say, you know what, that team should have won the national championship.
Now, when we talk about these budgets and numbers, remember that's for the entire athletic department,
not just football.
Not just football. It's what they bring in and have to spend on athletics in a year. But, I mean, outside of really 2 programs, you could point that same finger at a lot of people that aren't winning in a big way and spending a whole lot of money. So, I mean, it's not just Texas. Now, Texas hasn't even sniffed the college football playoff or a Big 12 title, and you can keep going down the list of things they haven't accomplished with plenty of resources. And I think your point is, how can you not have at least some measured success with the kind of resources and financial resources you have? They're spending a ton of money was it like $50 million it cost him to get Tom Herman out and Sarkisian and his staff in?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a ton of money in the midst of what's going on, and now you're going to change conferences and that just they have unlimited resources. It appears.
So
and it doesn't, but that doesn't always equal winning. We see that across a lot of sports landscapes.
Yeah, you referenced the Pat Forty Sports Illustrated article that I was going to bring up next. So again, like Tommy said, the Longhorns spent nearly $50 million to get rid of Tom Herman and bring in Steve Sarkisian's staff and everything else because they're now entering the Southeastern Conference. And that here's the issue, because Forty calls him the most intriguing coach in college football this year. And I think it's a fair statement because here's why. The guy has a 46-35 career record as a head football coach. Hasn't been in that position, in that title, since 2015. Mm-hmm. We know what down at USC. Sark After Dark happened, and it was a mess. So now he's going to be thrust in a situation that we just referred to yesterday. Nick Saban didn't want to be a part of because of how many nuisances the boosters were within that program. And now you're thrusting Sark into a situation he hasn't been in 6 years, into arguably one of, if not the most pressure-packed coaching job in college football.
Let me just for the sake of argument and conversation, let me take something we played at the top of the show, and that was Sam Pittman. And I know it's a different deal, but kind of the same learning lesson. Sam Pittman talking about what he learned from Kirby Smart, right? Now he's taken recruiting in his game after decades of college football experience, and he became, I think the word is relentless that's in there about recruiting. And he learned a lot from Kirby Smart, and he appreciates him preparing him for this head coaching job from what he learned at Georgia, right? So that's in our open at the beginning of the show today, in a clip that we've heard, and it's nothing new. Well, Sark kind of had to reinvent himself and learn some things. And who did he learn at? The foot of the master, right? Nick Saban. Sark left to go to the Atlanta Falcons and came back after Lane Kiffin, right? I got all those facts in order. Lane Kiffin left as OC, and they brought Sark back from the Falcons to be with Nick Saban.
That's correct, yeah.
So clearly Saban thinks enough of him that you wouldn't go out and get a guy that left you to bring him back. I think you got to look at Sark. We're going to find out, is he reinvented, or is he still the same West Coast guy? Obviously, Texas believes this guy's been reinvented, and a lot of those demons have been exercised at this point because he has learned new things and learned new habits and learned new practices. I think we're seeing that unfold in Lane Kiffin, right? Now, the winning's got to come, but he's clearly directed Ole Miss in a good direction in a year and a half or 2 years or whatever. He's got one season under his belt. So, I mean, I think we're seeing some guys have to go to the school of Nick Saban and reinvent their coaching careers, and Sark's hopefully one of them if you're looking at it from the Texas perspective.
Yeah, Jimbo Fisher, Kirby Smart, Lane Kiffin, there's other Nick Saban disciples. Now, Jeremy Pruitt was a failure at Tennessee, but there are some guys that have had success, Kirby being the most notable. Jimbo, I put Jimbo and Kirby at the top since Jimbo has won.
But Sark's story's different because he was a head coach and it fell apart and he had to come back and basically rehabilitate his career.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. So, hey, tomorrow, dollar sausage biscuits at Hardee's. Fort Smith, Northwest Arkansas, Sallisaw, Oklahoma, Sallisaw or a Hardee's location. So we'll be at the Phoenix Avenue location where we're giving away the football trip of a lifetime on Saturday. So be with us tomorrow for dollar sausage biscuits at Northwest Arkansas and River Valley Hardee's locations.
I didn't have a sausage biscuit last time. I had a cinnamon roll. I don't know if I'm going to have a sausage biscuit, chicken biscuit. I'm going to have a whole soiree of biscuits.
Chicken and waffle biscuit.
Chicken and waffle
It's not really a biscuit, but the chicken and waffle thing is really good.
Is it? Okay. 877-377-6963. A notable hire in college basketball. Penny Hardaway goes out and gets a former North Carolina Tar Heel. We'll tell you who it is next.
Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
Hey, this is Hunter Yurtek, Director of Athletics at the University of Arkansas, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Burton Pools and Spas is your source for backyard fun. Cool off in your own above-ground pool this summer. Cash and carry savings at only $19.99. Don't miss this opportunity to make your backyard fun this summer. Ask about Burton's full line of Doughboy above-ground pools that are built to last for years. Cash and carry savings on above-ground pools going on now at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and always online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Farm Credit has been a trusted friend for over 100 years. They are ag financing experts. So whether you're a longtime farmer, new to farming, or buying your dream home or land in the country, their experienced staff has a plan to fit your goals, needs, and your bottom line. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com. Farm Credit is an equal opportunity lender.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch, dinner, and brunch. Open 7 days a week, both on the patio and cozy dining room. River City Bistro, locally owned and open weekdays 11 till 8, Saturdays 10 till 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Are you in need of roofing repairs or maybe more? Construction Master Roofing, who has been under new management since 2019 with over 25 years of experience, is who you need to call. Estimates are free, and military, first responders, and medical workers receive 5% off. Construction Master Roofing guarantees their work, and the number you need to call is 648-8888 in the River Valley, and in Oklahoma, call 918-859-4714. Construction Master Roofing, the roofing company that cares and gets the job done.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
It's midsummer, and now is the perfect time for hiking, fishing, shooting, canoeing, kayaking, and enjoying the great outdoors. And Jelco Outdoors has all the great gear to help you make great memories this summer. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors, your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Have a safe summer from Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
At Ashley Air, keeping your home comfortable is what we do best. We're confident you'll make the right decision when trusting us with your AC cooling needs. For only $69, one of our technicians will make sure your AC cools when it matters the most. Our technicians specialize in keeping AC systems operating at peak capacity 24/7. Call us today so you can enjoy peace of mind knowing you'll stay cool and comfortable all summer.
AshleyAir.com.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
McFadden pulls up down the middle. Peyton Hillis, touchdown, Arkansas.
Don't forget about Dollar Sausage Biscuits at Hardee's this Friday in Fort Smith, Northwest Arkansas, and Sallisaw locations.
The over-under of Rasheed Wallace technicals at Memphis this year is set at 1.5 as the newest assistant coach. We'll tell you what we think of the Memphis hire coming up in just a bit.
Brought to you by Joe's Grill and Cantina, where we're reminding you, 16 days. 16 days. I keep losing track. 16 days from Arkansas and Rice kicking off the season. If you're not going to the game, you want to be at Joe's for every game because they have half-price apps and taps. So all the appetizers, half price, the 10-layer dip, the brisket nachos, the sampler platter's a great way to start, at least. The Mexican pizza, the ghost chili fries. They got a lot of great appetizers to choose from, half price during the games, and then all the beers on tap are half price as well. So don't miss out on this. Make your plans when you're not going to the games to go to Joe's. And always a great time with great Hog fans and great friends at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Easily the biggest college basketball news as of yesterday. The former North Carolina Tar Heel finds himself as the newest assistant coach of the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, recruiting-wise, this is big news, I would think, Drew. I'm curious, though. He's got Larry Brown on staff. Now he had Sheed. When's it going to pay off for Penny? When is that going to happen?
Well, obviously, you're hoping that it pays off this year. And, I mean, it's no shocker that this...
Did Bates commit?
Well, Amani Bates is on his official visit.
Okay.
I think yesterday is when he arrived at Memphis, according to all the socials and the Twitters that I saw yesterday. But
second best, but just for anyone who does, Drew and I know who that is. For just a heads up, the second best recruit in the 2022.
I just assumed I didn't know who he was.
Wow. You don't know who.
Did you know who Amani Bates was?
Well, no, but you just assumed I didn't know who he was.
Well, you don't follow high school recruiting or basketball like nationally, so
yeah, most guys my age don't.
Well, again, that's why we preface that statement on. Hey,
I'm just offended. I'm offended
for everyone.
I'm offended. I'm going back home and going to bed. I'm offended.
Go ahead.
But no, it's interesting to see the pathway that this is all taking of the NBA type of guys, and instead, when you bring in Rasheed Wallace, it's more of the fact that he played in the NBA. It's more of the fact that he's like Penny Hardaway, had a good career in the NBA, knows what it takes to be an NBA-type player. So that's the experience that you're bringing in. You know, Larry Brown is more the NBA type along with the coaching. You know, obviously had the great college career on the coaching side as well for Larry Brown. So it's going to be interesting to see how all these pieces really fit together and how they mold well together, because Penny's had previous NBA guys on his staff before. You know, you brought up earlier in the show Mike Miller. You know, there's rumors that didn't, the ebb and flow of that wasn't always the best. So can Rasheed Wallace come in and kind of just be an assistant and not kind of butt heads or anything with that? Because Penny's had that problem with a few assistants. That's why he's had somewhat of a revolving door through these 3 years of assistants. Now you got stability in a guy that's not an NBA guy, a guy that most people outside of Memphis, Tennessee would know the name of Cody Toppert, who is a great assistant coach, a great X's and O's guy, and from all accounts, one of the best scouting assistant coaches that Memphis has ever had, and one of the best throughout the country. So you've got a lot of great coaches. It's all about getting the pieces together and not just getting your Jalen Durns, your Amani Bates, 1-2 punch of the 2022 class that are going to reclassify. It's about getting your current players better.
All right, here's the thing I think is interesting from a Razorback perspective. If this works in Memphis, and works would be similar to what Arkansas has done, right? Get to the Sweet 16, advance, go to the Elite 8, get some traction in the tournament, because if you're not winning in the tournament, it doesn't work. It doesn't matter how many regular season games you've won, particularly if you're not playing in a, quote, Power 5 conference.
And I don't care about draft day. I care about second weekend of March.
Here's the interesting thing. Let me complete the circle here. Arkansas has been loaded the last few years, in-state talent, 4- and 5-star guys, right? No argument about that. We can go down a long list, and there's 2 at North Little Rock now with Nick Smith and Khalil Ware that currently, tons of schools around the country are aiming at, and there's others in the state, and there's been a long track record. If Arkansas and Memphis both have tournament success and are perceived to be programs on the rise, I'll find it interesting to see if Memphis is able to come into Little Rock and into to some of these towns in Arkansas and get 4 stars, and what kind of recruiting battles with 2 staffs that pride themselves on NBA experience, who would win out in some of those battles. You'd like to think that it's automatically Arkansas, but I think that from our seats would be an interesting watch from guys like Richard Davenport and Dudley Dawson's chairs. That could be some interesting stories to write if it unfolded in that way.
Mm-hmm. You think about the last really recruiting battle that Memphis and Arkansas had would be over Chris Moore out of West Memphis. Now, he elected to go to Auburn and play for Bruce Pearl, but that's kind of the battle. That's the most recent, most prevalent one that you can look to. Little Rock, and we've said this. You've said this before. As much as dynamic as a recruiter as Eric Musselman is, as incredible as he is on social media, when Penny Hardaway walks into a room and a young man sees the head coach of Memphis, that is just a different element. Now, if there's no NCAA tournament success to go with that, then they don't really care.
Well, and that's been because of Penny's summer coaching with today's current recruits, because today's recruits probably don't remember a ton. Their dads do, but they probably don't remember a ton about Penny Hardaway as a player, but he's been so active in the summer game that he's made a huge name for himself with today's.
And he still has the top 5 selling shoe.
Right, and for guys like me, it doesn't always translate, but I know he's probably as big a name with a 16 or 17 or 18-year-old kid in recent years off of his AAU summer team success, his summer teams.
Well,
until he went to Memphis.
I just looked it up. I wanted to make sure. So you mentioned Khalil Ware. He's committed out to Oregon and Eugene. Nick does not have Memphis in his top 8.
Right. Well, my point was if Memphis got to some some second weekends.
No, and that's what I'm wondering is it's kind of leading into my point is popular as a guy as Penny Hardaway is in the AAU circuit, and that it shows like kids still want to play in the postseason, and Memphis hasn't done squat.
Well,
as far as that goes,
but I just think it's interesting. Both schools. I mean, because if you're in Little Rock, which is closer, Fayetteville,
Memphis,
or Memphis? I mean, drive wise, it's not
like
that
30
much.
minutes.
It's like 30 minutes, but
Yeah.
I mean, so the idea that why would you want to go? Well, it's not if you're on that side of the state. It's not way over there. Now you'll have to have some Xanax or something to deal with all the truck traffic between Little Rock and Memphis on I-40. If you
have
make that
you
trip.
taken a Xanax before?
After driving from Little Rock to Memphis last weekend, I'm considering it. So
the forget drug?
You want to forget that trip between Little Rock and Memphis because that is the worst truck traffic in America.
And not to hate on the eastern side of this state. This is the natural state. It's very beautiful, but there's not a lot to look at from Little Rock to Memphis.
Well, I mean, just you look at them trucks. I mean, I'm just saying, if you had to drive that all the time, you do it, and it just absolutely drive you insane.
So we're talking about Little Rock here for a sec. Moses Moody out of Little Rock, went to Montverde a couple years after Parkview and North Little Rock. He's got an autograph signing Saturday and Sunday. Now, there's a chance that he comes on halftime this Friday. Still working out the details on that. But he's got a free autograph signing. This is going to be the Walmart in Fayetteville this Saturday from 2 to 4. And for all the Central Arkansas people, the Walmart off Bowman Road in Little Rock, and that's Sunday from 12:30 to 2:30. Now, it's free. It's not, you don't have to pay for anything. It's a free autograph signing. You're going to get a certain...
I bet when you get there, they're going to have things available for you to purchase to get autographed if you choose to.
Moses is coming back this weekend, so I know a lot of people are excited about that. He has killed it. I know you probably watched a little bit of Summer League.
I have.
You probably hadn't watched
I watched
yet.
a little.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay. He has been murdering Summer League. His statistics right now have been fantastic, and he got his number the other day. He's going to be sporting number 4 for the Golden State Warriors, and I cannot wait to watch him this upcoming NBA season.
And hey, you want him to live large in the NBA too, because that does nothing but help Musselman and kind of put the bow on the conversation we're just having about Arkansas and Memphis and NBA. That's what it's all about. I mean, Moses Moody's getting ready. We hope to live out the dream that every one of these 4- and 5-star athletes, aspire to. And this will be proof and affirmation that, hey, you can come to Arkansas, be a one and done, and go on and make the money and have the career and actually realize it. And that's what we're hoping to get ready to see Moses do.
Clay Travis and the Outkick Tour. Now, this is not College Game Day. I'd much rather have College Game Day here. Some of you love Clay Travis. Some of you hate Clay Travis. But him and his Outkick Tour are making their way to Fayetteville, Arkansas for September 11th. Now, I don't know where they're going to be. I don't know where they're going to be setting up. But I know he's going to do stuff in conjunction. Now, Big Noon Kickoff is the game. Is it Big Noon Saturday? That is Fox's college football game? I always forget what.
I rarely keep that one on, but I'm not a huge pregame show guy. But
it's Big Noon kickoff.
Big Noon Kickoff.
That's what I thought.
I can't. I know he has been doing morning radio in conjunction with Fox Sports Radio, and now he's doing the Westwood One show that took the place in the time slot of Rush Limbaugh that he's doing. So he built a huge brand with Outkick, and it's just, I guess, part of his way of continuing to grow that brand while he's also doing a whole different kind of radio career in conjunction with sports.
Yeah,
so.
I read his book, Dixieland Delight. He went to all at the time. I think it was all 12 SEC schools. Maybe it was 14, but I think at the time it was just all 12 SEC schools. Didn't have the highest opinion of the Fayetteville bar scene, so I'm curious if that changes when he goes out this time. Now, Nebraska, one of the more notable storied programs in college football, not recently, but more in the 20th century. Scott Frost is under NCAA investigation, according to Brett McMurphy, for the improper use of analysts, and according to him, during the pandemic, they had unauthorized off-campus workouts under the staff's direction so they could avoid detection by school officials. That's
going to be the one that gets him, because there was also on the SEC Network crawl, I was in a business, they had it on, just on in the background. I saw this come across yesterday morning, and it was talking about video that had been seen by the administration at Nebraska. So somebody on the inside, or at least on the inside at the time, made this video available to administration. Now, at the same time, we've also got Will Wade on tape offering money, and he's still coaching, right? So who knows what will happen. But I don't think the improper use of an analyst is probably going to be his biggest issue. These practices, at least from an NCAA standpoint, these practices that are unauthorized during a dead period, I think there's going to be more like we saw with, was it Arizona State? Which one was Herm Edwards at?
Arizona State, correct.
State.
Yeah.
There's going to be more. You think that there aren't schools out there that had recruits on campus legally or illegally during the dead period? There's going to be some of these things surface. I don't know what's going to happen with all that, but these unauthorized practices are going to be the bigger crime here, if you will, for Scott Frost.
For about the past year, the Washington football team, formerly known as the Washington Redskins, have just gone by the Washington football team. Well, now they're trying to figure out, hey, what should our new name be?
The three that we'll go through are and I like.
I think that's a cool name.
Nah.
That's terrible.
No. I like that.
Oh, gosh.
I love it.
All right, so they put that video out on Instagram, their social medias yesterday. Here's some of the names that people think it are going to be. Y'all tell me what you like. The Presidents, the Brigade, the Red Hogs, again, sticking with the Washington football team, the Commanders, the Armada, the Defenders, and the Red Wolves. You like the Commanders.
I think from a marketing standpoint, if I'm, the Washington football team's director of marketing, I don't want to go with presidents, because presidents are so dividing in today's political world that people either love or hate the president. So let's stay away from that. If I'm a marketing guy, you can't be the Washington football team forever and ever, amen. You got to have a mascot, because that's how you sell merchandising. That's how you sell. Now, they've done a good job, and I think that's one reason they kept it this year, of getting this new stuff out there. They're not going to allow the old Redskins stuff in their stadium. So now you got to buy all the new stuff if you're a hardcore fan. Then you're going to have to buy it all again. So extending this another year has been smart for them. But you got to have a mascot of some type, I think, for people to latch on to. Particularly if you're a marketing person, you're trying to figure out how to sell merchandise, how to sell partnerships, how to sell things. You got to have some kind of mascot.
Long time.
I like Commanders.
You like Commanders? Oh,
it's got a forceful, authoritarian, strong. There's a lot of things you can build around there.
Drew, real quick, which one do you like?
I'm not a big fan of any of these, because they just sound too XFL, too AAF-ish. Of names, and that's
at some point, though, don't we just run out of stuff?
Exactly. I mean, eventually you do run out of stuff, but if I had to pick one, I'd go with Brigade, maybe, just because it's different. I don't know. I'm not really sold on any of them.
Okay, I like the Washington football team, but I understand your marketing ploy, where you're coming from.
If you're trying to make money, I think they are. So
I think they're in the business of making money.
Daniel Snyder likes money.
All right, so Rick Schaefer, who's been a part of the Springdale School District Communications Director for quite some time, announced his retirement last month. He's going to be joining me on Trusting the Process later on today. Really excited to talk with Rick about a variety of different things. His background on Arkansas athletics, with Frank Broyles unfortunately passing away, Rick has been to more Arkansas athletic events than any living person on the planet.
As a kid, you grew up and you heard him on the football broadcast. You heard him on the basketball broadcast. Years ago, you didn't pay attention to the baseball broadcast because it wasn't, as prominent as it is today. But he was on the baseball broadcast for a number of years with Chuck and for a few years with Phil before Bubba stepped into the booth a few years ago. So he has, like you said, had a front row seat for so many things. And, I guess it's been 20, maybe a little over 20 years since he's been the sports information director, but he has still stayed actively involved through the radio broadcast, and now his involvement is just with the football crew. But you're right. There's no one that's probably had a better front row seat to the last 60 years, 50 years, or whatever it's been. Going back to the 70s at least. Than Rick. He's been there for everything.
Mm-hmm. Last headline to get to before we talk about how Arkansas football can improve in recruiting. You're welcome to hop in on that conversation, 877-377-6963. NTU in Singapore is working on battery technology that's fueled by sweat.
Does that mean you'd have to sweat to keep the batteries going?
That's a great question. I don't know. I'm thinking about
my sweat. I don't know if I want those kind of batteries. They're going to pay me to charge it? I mean, how's this going to work? I got a lot of questions on this.
I do too, but apparently that's something they're working on this one. They're working on.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be solar powered. That would be, what would that be? That would be sweat powered.
Great question.
Sweat powered batteries. All right. Hey, we're Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions and Brett Good are there for you if you're thinking about your employee benefits package at work, or you're the HR person, the owner of the company, whether it's a small business or you got 100+ employees, it's always the right time to be thinking about, are my employee benefits best serving my employees? Call Brett at 651-2292. In today's marketplace, just paying great isn't enough anymore. You got to have great health insurance, retirement plans, group life, vision, dental, the whole plan that really is competitive in today's work environment. Call Brett. He can sit down with you, show you options that are affordable, and maybe even save you some money off of what you're doing right now with your current provider. 479-651-2292. Also, commercial and personal insurance. So if you're listening this morning, and I don't own a business, I don't run a business, but I do have a home and a car, well, he can help you with insurance on those as well. 651-2292 for Brett Good with Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions.
We're going to have on Sam Spiegelman here on a Recruiting Thursday later in the program. A recruiting guy for Rivals, has a national perspective, also has kind of a local perspective. Arkansas, Texas, Oklahoma, some of these more local states surrounding us, and kind of get a feel of what Arkansas is from a national landscape right now. And I was thinking about this last night as we were gearing up for Recruiting Thursday, and in order for recruiting to improve, first and foremost, you got to start winning. Now, you don't have to win 10 games this fall, but you have to be on an upward trajectory, because you can only sell, as we saw from Chad Morris, playing time for so long. Sam Pittman has to convince these young men that are going to be making one of the most important decisions of their entire life that their investment with the University of Arkansas is going to pay off, because this team, this program is heading in the right direction.
But one thing that Sam and his staff do have to sell right now in regards to playing time is, 23 seniors and super seniors, and then you got like 19 returning starters in different roles. A lot of those guys are going to be moving on after this year. There's going to be open seats at the starters table, so to speak, in the next year or two. And those guys they have recruited and just brought in, the guys that are in this 21 class that are coming up, there's going to be opportunity to play, I think, in 2022 and 2023 fairly early in your career, just because this team won't be as veteran next year as it is this year. And there'll never be a more veteran team than this one.
It's a little scary to think about next year with so many people departing after this season. But like you said, that leads to the opportunity, if you're a blue-chip recruit, now I'm not talking about the number one quarterback in the country, but if you're a fringe 4-star or a high-level 4-star and you're looking at these schools, and because Arkansas doesn't compare in terms of the winning tradition to some of the other schools, but you're looking like, man, I could step in here and there's a chance I could start at day one. That has to be appealing, especially, Tommy, why has the transfer portal been so prevalent as of late? We always come back to one thing.
Playing time.
90-something% of the time when you see someone enter the transfer portal, it has to do with playing time. Now, Sam Pittman, Barry Odom, Kendall Browse, and others, they're not going to gift wrap a starting job to a high-profile recruit. That being said, if you're as good as your salt, if you're as good as advertised and there's all these people leaving, Tommy, you're going to start next year.
Yeah, and the other thing I think that you've got to sell with Sam, and this may not, I hope I can word this the right way, I don't think he's as big a threat as some other coaches that he won't be here through at least 3 years and maybe 4 to 5 years.
Good point.
The safety of him being the head coach at the University of Arkansas, you take the bet on Sam for 5 years versus a lot of other coaches around this conference, like Lane Kiffin or Mike Leach or Drinkowitz or somebody else that you're trying to think of who you might be competing against regionally. The odds of Sam being here, I think this university is going to be committed to building this thing out with him, and he's claimed and he's stated this is his dream job. Doesn't appear to want to go anywhere else. I can't see him jumping even with success for a bigger, better, more high-profile job. So I think that's a comfort. I think if I'm a mom, a dad, or that recruit, that, hey, at least for the 3, maybe 4 or 5 years I'm going to be there, I'm comfortable that he's going to be my head coach.
Mm-hmm. There's an entrenchment type of factor that you have with Sam Pittman, and then most notably and higher than Sam Pittman, Dave Van Horn. Dave Van Horn's not going anywhere. The one that I've always said, and I will still say this until my last breath, until it actually happens, is that I think Eric Musselman is more likely, not to say that he's not going to continue to have success, because I think he is, but I don't know if he's going to be here for the long haul. Now, Hunter Yurchek and everyone else within that athletics department and fans want him to stay here. I just don't have the same sense that I do with Sam Pittman and Dave Van Horn that he's going to be here for the long haul. But basketball, it's quick turnover. It's 1-2 years, you're good. You're in the NBA draft.
I think another way of stating what you just said, we feel very comfortable that Dave and Sam Pittman are probably in their last head coaching jobs or their last jobs in general at Arkansas. I tend to agree that I think you may have Musselman here several more years as the success builds, but none of us believe this is where he's going to retire and live. So I think maybe there is one last job in him, out west, because that's seemingly, from what you hear, read, and understand, and listen to him talk, and probably where he'll spend out his retirement days.
And I'll blend this in.
Coaches never retire, though.
Yeah, and I'll bring this into the fold. There's a lot of people that have moved to Arkansas with a Fortune 500 company or various different coaching jobs, and Phil's probably the most notable example that I know face to face. Phil didn't think he was going to stay here. He's like, minor league job. I'll have this for a couple years, and I'll be out the door. Mm-hmm. Next thing he knows, he's been here since 2003, almost 20 years, and he likes it. And that's one of the things about Arkansas is you have this, kind of like with recruiting, you have this public perception of what it is. We were driving through Cave Springs. Tommy, it is not a pretty sight driving from XNA to Fayetteville. Initially, that first you're like,
it depends on which way you go.
Yeah,
but yeah, you're right. Take them the other way. Take them north through the Bentonville Rogers Loop.
But then it showcases itself in Northwest Arkansas, all over the state's got so much to offer. And until you actually live and immerse yourself within Razorback and Arkansas culture, you can't understand it until you're actually living here.
Are those cows over there? Yes, That's cattle, actually.
Want to go squeezing under? Sure.
Yeah, you come right out of the airport, and you think you are. And then you got to get them out to I-49. You got to get them up in Benton County. Hey, we got some things here. Hey, Burton Pools and Spas can help create that backyard of your dreams, whether it's an above-ground pool, an in-ground pool, whether you want a hot spring spa, maybe you're looking for a big green egg grill. They can work with you on all of these things to design the backyard of your dreams. Hey, start the planning process for a 2022 in-ground installation with Burton Pools and Spas. Now is the time. So stop in their Fort Smith or Springdale location and begin work with their team. You can always start online at burtonpools.com. That's Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
All right, coming up in the start of hour number 2, Treylon Burks was mic'd up at practice. We'll share it with you next.
Wheels RV in Springdale wants you to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels RV was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. 5 miles west of I-49, exit 72. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Welcome to Toyota's National Sales Event.
Thanks, Jen. I've been waiting to get a great deal on a new Toyota all year.
Great deals are kind of our thing. Right now, we've got exciting offers on our lineup of 2021s, like Camry, Corolla, RAV4, Tacoma.
Oh, wait, look at that Highlander. Jen, do you mind watching Chance?
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Jen. You're the best.
Listen, Chance, I run a tight ship around here, so I don't want any funny business. Aw, who's a good boy? Toyota's national sales event is on, but these offers won't last long. Visit your participating Toyota dealer today. No, Chance, that's a display. It's not real grass.
Right now, qualified buyers can get 2.49% APR financing for 72 months on a new 2021 Tacoma. Toyota, let's go places. Visit Toyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and N9721.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunity, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Wake up your happy at Hardee's with the new $3 French toast dips. Wait, what? French toast dips sprinkled with powdered sugar and served with a side of syrup. Sugary, syrupy, dippable. Sweeten up your morning at Hardee's. Try the new $3 French toast dips at Hardee's. The sweet one on the 2-3 more breakfast menu. Feed your happy. Available during regular breakfast hours at participating Hardee's restaurants. Tax not included. Price and participation may vary.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Do you own apartment complexes, condos, and rental property? Then you have made a great investment. Now make another great decision by calling Trinity Multifamily to help you maximize your return. Trinity Multifamily offers full-service property management, marketing, leasing, sales, and all the services to make your cash flow. Take the hassles and frustrations out of ownership and call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
As the days get longer and the weather gets warmer, it just means more time for outdoor fun. Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Wheeler Power Sports knows everything there is to know about helping you have that fun. Right now, you can save up to $1,000 or get financing as low as 0% during the Kawasaki Rev Up for Spring Sales event. Check out their full inventory at WheelerPowersports.com or go see them at 901 North 11th Street near downtown Fort Smith. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources. Has the summer heat got you down? Got the back to school blues? Well, keep your cool, because I've got a deal to turn that rising mercury into sizzling savings for you. Just choose from a red hot selection of Rath road ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center, and take advantage of discounts up to $5,300 below retail. That discount can go a long ways towards helping you get the nicer newer car, truck, or SUV you've been wanting at a price and payment you can afford. If you're not ready to trade, let us take care of the car you have in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires. Better yet, click, call, or come by today and start driving better in a Rath road-ready vehicle and take advantage of discounts up to $5,300 below retail. But don't wait. A smoking deal like this can't last forever and absolutely ends August 31st. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, chance of showers and thunderstorms are high this afternoon in the mid to upper 80s. Tonight, a few isolated showers or storms and overnight low in the low 70s. Friday, chance of showers and scattered storms are high close to the 90-degree mark, and a few more hit-or-miss showers or storms on Saturday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing and Drain Cleaning. Book your appointment at MrRooter.com.
You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
It's relentless, it's all the time. So I really learned a lot from Kirby about the passion of recruiting. I've done well recruiting in my life, but he prepared me more for this head coaching job. I appreciate him.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
People who really want to have a good time won't come to a slaughterhouse. And we've got entirely too many troublemakers here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
I don't like you because you're dangerous. That's right. I am dangerous.
Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com. I hit the 7-iron like John Daly hits the 3.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
You just gotta keep living, man.
And Tommy Kraft.
We follow orders or people die. Are we clear?
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes, sir.
Treylon Burks was mic'd up at practice on Tuesday. They didn't have practice yesterday. They'll be back at it today. What's his vibe? What's his feel heading into 2021? We'll share some audio with you coming up here on hour number 2 of the Morning Rush.
Just over 2 weeks away from getting our tailgates going again. It won't be long till, we're thinking about deer camp and a lot of things we want to do on the go in the fall, because the fall in Arkansas is such a great time. But we want to be able to watch your football no matter where we're at. So that's one of the great things about the Playmaker at World of Wireless. What is the Playmaker? Well, it's the portable satellite setup. You've always seen, Ty, at these tailgates where the guy's out there with a dish on the tripod and he's trying to figure out how to align it, and it takes forever to get that thing.
Complicated.
It's complicated, exactly. And if you're in a spot with trees all around you and all this stuff, it just makes it impossible to really enjoy other college football games at your tailgate. No, and we all know no tailgate is truly complete without television available. Well, now it's easier than ever with the Playmaker system, which is a easy-to-use portable satellite receiver. It's the dish. It's a cube. You can set it up on top of your car, your van, your truck, whatever. Set it on the ground. Doesn't matter. It weighs 8 pounds. All you got to do is plug it into your satellite receiver that goes into your TV, and bam, you've got all the channels you want to enjoy. The 11 and the 2:30 games while you're getting ready for Arkansas and Texas at 6 o'clock that night. So it makes it easier. You can take it to deer camp. You can take it, when you go to the lake or the beach or wherever you go. 877-305-DISH is the number to call World of Wireless. Find out about a $100 rebate when you get the Playmaker now with a new dish system. It's 877-305-DISH.
They got me mic'd up today.
You're mic'd?
Yeah.
I guess I'll have to not talk bad to you.
Nah, good. Hey, you dropped that. Got you. Hit him now. Good job, Malik.
Go win. Back pile on.
Good job, JD.
Very good, JD.
Hey, it's a slant stick. Come back out.
You mic'd up?
Yeah.
That's fun.
Coach Pitt, you dropped that thing. Gotcha. Woo! Whole team's running scripts.
He was joking with Coach Pittman that he dropped a whistle or something, and then Coach Pittman said, I don't know if they actually did run sprints or not, but it's funny. Now, you heard him, and I don't know if he was talking to Keithron Jackson, Darren Turner. I didn't get a look at the number of the youngin that he was speaking to about just a little route running concept. But if I'm a wide receiver in that position group, I am soaking up every bit that Treylon Burks is telling me about playing that position. This guy's projected top 20 in the NFL draft next year, y'all. He's going to be a first-round draft pick, barring a collapse this season. Does anyone else think that he's going to have collapse? I sure don't. Dude is a beast. 4.4 speed, 6'3", 235. Just an absolute stud. And
that's the part you can't soak up listening. the last part you said.
The talent.
Well, the long arms, the
measurables.
big hands, the 6'3", 230-ish, that's the part you can listen all you want. But, I can listen to a lot of 6'4" guys, but I'm not going to get any taller. You know what I mean? So Burks just has those physical dynamics that just are going to make him hopefully imposing on some defenses this year if they can get the rest of the parts of the offense lined up. But your point's right that if you're a young guy out there, you got a lot to learn, but there's so much about his game that's just God-given talent.
Mm-hmm. And he's an Arkansas boy. Not only is he from Warren, Arkansas, which we know has some of the best football players in the last 2 decades, loves to hunt, loves to fish. His first sponsor with this NIL stuff was Bandit, which is a big-time duck company. You're going to have to help me out.
Well, Bandit does several things. Duck calls, I believe, is one of them. But we do know he likes to, because we've talked about this, go hog hunting with a knife. I mean, that's not generally when I think about hunting. I don't get to hunt a lot in the fall. I use a gun. Not the way he does it. Hogs are dangerous, but as we know. But you're right. His affection for the outdoors, has been pretty open.
And I think if I remember this correctly, he was the 97th ranked recruit in the country during his class, and the only reason he wasn't higher is because he didn't go to any rivals or 24/7 or all those different camps. His free time, dude just likes to hunt and fish. He just likes to be out in the Arkansas wilderness and doing that. And how many of you listen to the program do the exact same thing during your free time? I'd say a lot of you, and that's why he's so easily approachable and likable as a young man, not only just for his talent on the football field, but he feels like an Arkansas guy because he is an Arkansas guy. And what I'm really excited about is to just kind of, we're talking about soaking in if you're a wide receiver in that locker room. I'm excited to soak in this next season with him because when you think about anticipation for players, Phil asked me this question, I think, last week. He's the most anticipated football player for Arkansas since fill in the blank. And I thought about that for a sec. I thought a little more. And I was like, that's a good question, Phil. I don't have do you got to go all the way back to the 10s with a Mallet or a Wilson?
I don't think it most anticipated maybe since Tyler Wilson's first year to start after you saw what he did against Auburn. That might be a good place to start, at least in the conversation.
You just go think about it. Did not have a touchdown out of Chad Morris and Joe Craddock. First quarter, Georgia, 8 minutes in the quarter, touchdown. Felipe Franks, Treylon Burks. I want to say he had either over 100 yards or close to 100 yards in that football game against one of the premier secondaries in college football. That's the type of athlete that you have on your campus right now that is going to demand double coverage after double coverage, and that's going to open up so much for the likes of Trey Knox, De'Vion Warren, John David White, and everyone else that's going to be running routes for KJ Jefferson this fall.
And you almost forget how he was miscoached, and it was coaching malpractice how he was handled with Joe.
That's a good way to put
Joe
it.
Craddock and Chad Morris, and the lack of getting him the ball. It was almost, why did it take so long back in 05 and that era to figure out McFadden in his freshman year that, hey, this guy needs the ball more, and you finally figured it out, and they never did figure that out with Craddock and Morris that, hey, this is the guy you need to be throwing the football to. And it was just coaching malpractice. There's no question about it. So hopefully you make up for some of that this year. Like you said, soak it up and enjoy it because you're probably down to your last 12 or 13 ball games with a special talent.
And with Darren, he started on the depth chart at 5 preseason at one point.
Seemed like it was the Vanderbilt game after, when Jay Cutler brought that group into Fayetteville and beat Arkansas that I believe, it's been a few days, it's been 15 or 16 years obviously, but I believe it was that Vanderbilt game you finally started giving him the ball a little bit more and you kind of broke out of that, if I remember right. I may be fuzzy on some of those details, but the point was that it took way too long to realize what you had as a freshman.
Keep the injury bug off Treylon Burks this season. Please, please, please stay away.
Opposing defensive coordinators, they will know every snap where 1-6 is. There will not be a play that starts where they don't know where 16's at on the field. I'll tell you where you need to be tomorrow. That's at Hardee's. We're going to be at the Phoenix Avenue location in Fort Smith with the Morning Rush. $1 sausage biscuits available at Hardee's all day tomorrow in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and Sallisaw, Oklahoma. Come by and say hi. Saturday, we give away the football trip of a lifetime, so be sure to make your plans to be with us Saturday for that. But it's $1 sausage biscuits tomorrow with the Morning Rush at Hardee's.
All right, coming up in the program, Tom Murphy is going to join us. Really excited about our conversation. One of the questions we asked in hour number one, why does Texas keep doing it to themselves? There's a video that's made its way to headlines, them pretending to be a bicycle. Not just them, members of their own football team.
Shop local, eat local, be local.
This is former Razorback Kanoy Kennedy, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is growing and looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building experience or you have welding skills, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay, health, dental, and vision benefits. Join the top fence building team in the state. The Fence Man. Apply today in person. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey Siri, remind me on August 23rd about the new Powerball drawing every Monday.
Powerball drawings are on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Here's what I found.
Well, there's going to be a new drawing on Mondays, too.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
So every Monday, there's a Powerball drawing?
Yep, starting August 23rd. Man, these updates are weird.
Get psyched! Starting on August 23rd, Powerball drawings will be 3 days a week, so mark your calendars. This is winning. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
These days we Google everything, but the practical advice about painting comes from the paint store in Van Buren. For 33 years we have worked with professionals as well as homeowners to share the best tips and techniques. Richards Paint, made in USA. Wooster Rollers, made in USA. Corona Brushes, made in USA. We want nothing more than to share our knowledge to help you achieve the best paint job. Friendly, expert, professional. The paint store in Van Buren.
Doe's Eat Place, serving award-winning steaks, has now added lobster tail and salmon to the menu. You can also enjoy delicious appetizers along with your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Doe's Eat Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Call 784-9111. That's 784-9111. Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
At Ashley Air, keeping your home comfortable is what we do best. We're confident you'll make the right decision when trusting us with your AC cooling needs. For only $69, one of our technicians will make sure your AC cools when it matters the most. Our technicians specialize in keeping AC systems operating at peak capacity 24/7. Call us today so you can enjoy peace of mind knowing you'll stay cool and comfortable all summer.
AshleyAir.com.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco.
for hard work and the great outdoors.
Hey, bow hunters, archery season is closer than you think. Now is the perfect time to bring in your bow for a tune-up for the upcoming season. Let our staff at Jelco Outdoors check out your bow and get you ready to start practicing soon. Check out all the new arrivals by Matthews, Hoyt, Bowtech, and Elite. Jelco has the largest selection of archery equipment in the area. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Farm Credit has been a trusted friend for over 100 years. They are ag financing experts. So whether you're a longtime farmer, new to farming, or buying your dream home or land in the country, their experienced staff has a plan to fit your goals, needs, and your bottom line. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com. Farm Credit is an equal opportunity lender.
Have you ever been to River City Bistro for a brunch on the weekends? Every Saturday and Sunday, River City is open at 10 a.m. with a special brunch menu. Eggs and omelets any way you like. Premium bacon, sausage and ham, waffles, eggs Benedict, and a great drink menu featuring mimosas, Bloody Marys, and all your brunch favorites. We will see you for brunch every Saturday and Sunday starting at 10 a.m. at River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
And it's Joe Adams with a hurdle. Great speed. Adams down the sideline. He's gone. 92 yards for a touchdown.
Don't forget about Dollar Sausage Biscuits at Hardee's this Friday in Fort Smith, Northwest Arkansas, and Sallisaw locations.
So I was looking back at that 2005 season with Arkansas because we were talking about Darren McFadden.
Mm-hmm.
I had forgotten that they had lost by this margin to USC, 70-17.
Oh yeah, that was
in Los Angeles.
Yeah, that one was real ugly.
Yikes! So, all right, coming up, Tommy brought back some Texas gear, not the Texas gear that you might be thinking of. We'll share it in just a bit.
Hey, Farm Credit of Western Arkansas can help you finance that recreational land you've been leasing or you've always wanted, or maybe that joins your property, or whatever your situation is. Farm Credit understands that hunting and fishing is just part of what we do right here, and they can make it easy right now for you to enjoy that land and have it for generations to come in your family. In addition to farms and livestock and homes, Farm Credit also has a new loan product that makes financing all sizes of hunting tracts quick and easy, so you can continue the hunting and fishing on that special land that you've always enjoyed. Your local Farm Credit office can help you finance that hunting land today, so get by and see them at Farm Credit, and you can have that hunting land you want before the next deer or turkey season rolls around.
Texas is back, folks.
That's Joe Tess, and much to our liking, they are in fact not back. But you are back from Fayetteville yesterday, and you've come bearing gifts.
Yeah.
Why don't you pull those out for our video live stream this morning? We'll try and describe our gifts this morning as much as we can on the airwaves.
Well, I was at the stadium shop and saw Robert and his family yesterday, and I was there just at the right moment. He was making buttons, so I brought you a button.
Okay.
And we got to be. I can't let you, because sometimes you're.
Oh, let me say it fast.
No. When you talk fast, we get in trouble. It says Tuck Fexus on the button, so you can go by the stadium shop and get one of those.
Okay.
There's one for you.
Thank you. I
Drew, I
appreciate
got you a shirt, but I didn't know if you'd wear. I can get you a shirt if you would wear one. We got a shirt that says the same thing as well. So I'll wear it. You'll wear that? Yeah. All right, I'll get you one.
My grandpa would be quite proud of what I'm displaying right now. He's smiling at me down from heaven. We got to get. Did you get?
And since I mean, you're always talking about on the trailer, I got you a small. Is that right?
Yeah, that works.
Okay, good. There you go.
I can. I'm going the opposite way. I will say.
Give you something to work towards.
Yeah, taking my shirt off, playing water volleyball last night. There's some improvement that needs to be made when I looked at myself in the mirror.
I promised Robert though we'd wait and wear these the week of the games. So.
Okay.
But you can get by and get them. I was there just at the right time, and we're going to be doing the show there live the week of the Texas game, but. They just rolled in.
Smells good.
I mean, these are the first two. These are shirts 1 and 2 out of the box.
Hot off the iron.
Well, I mean, they just gotten them. I mean, the delivery had just arrived when we were there yesterday.
Got to make sure my button's now in display on our video live stream. Man, this is a beautiful looking shirt. I'll tell you what wasn't beautiful. Those clowns in Austin trying to perform a bicycle routine. I mean, this is Ole Miss baseball-esque. And Texas fans are ticked. Now, if you haven't seen the video, I encourage you to watch it. Just type in.
Explain it a little bit, because I know there's 52-year-old guy listening right now. What in the world is he talking about?
52-year-old guy listening right now. I love you, and I'm going to explain it to you. So you got these clowns. There's 3 of them. And all you as fathers in some way, shape, or form have played the airplane game or interacted something with your son. And when he was like 4, these morons are reenacting a bicycle routine and had the idiocy to put it on video. And so now they're getting clowned by us here on the Morning Rush. Every fan base, not just in the Big 12 or SEC, but across the country, because that's what Texas football is right now. It's a joke. And until proven otherwise, it's going to continue to be that. It's kind of like that kid that you knew growing up, that his dad had all the money in the world, and yet he couldn't back up anything he said. It was always, hey, we can do this, or I can do this, or I can do that. And you know what? His dad was the one that had all success, that made him, or maybe it was his mom. It wasn't him, though. It was his parents. And that's what Texas has been living on for about 15 years. Mac Brown's last national championship in 2005, which Vince Young, USC, they beat him. It was awesome. I was weird that I was cheering for Texas, but I hated that USC team. Maybe because they clobbered Arkansas that year. But that
was it, 09's the last time they've been
in the national
relevant?
Championship. Yeah. Yes. That has what they've been living on for so long. And it's, again, their football program, it's an absolute joke. And it's going to continue to be because they're joining the SEC, and it's not going to get any easier. The deranged fans that think they're going to walk into this conference and have a multitude of success are psychotic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but just because they got a large athletic budget, that doesn't always equal wins. Now, generally, when you have more wins, your budget grows because you're going to raise ticket prices, and success financially follows winning. But just because you've got $150+ million in your athletic budget is not always equated to winning. And you really look at the top budgets in the country, and it's a frustration, I think, for many schools, particularly in the SEC and the Big Ten, who have the largest athletic budgets in college sports. There's only so much room at the top. But Texas, as you said, they're not even getting a taste or a piece of it in the last 12 or so years.
Not a morsel.
That's why they keep going through coaches.
Not a drop or anything. Let's welcome in our guy, Tom Murphy, as we do every Thursday morning here on the Morning Rush. It is a recruiting Thursday. Tom, it's really easy to make fun of Texas, and we could go on for the next hour and a half doing that. But I do want to ask just kind of about this football team. 16 days out, we've gotten some people that have started to predict how this football team is going to end up. Tom, if they win a mere 5 games this fall, do you consider that a step back where this football program was relative to last year?
Well, I guess it's how they lose those other 7, or which games they do win, and just how they look. But it's hard to picture them like having just sloppy performances. 5 turnover games like Ole Miss had here, or just missing 12 tackles and stuff like that. It's just hard to envision that because the care factor is so strong. So if they happen to go 5-7. I think it'll be a slight disappointment. You just don't want to see them fall into what the Brett Bielema teams did, which is they started losing so many one-possession games. They just had a bad record in 14, 15, and 16 in one-possession games. And I'd like to think that this squad will have the wherewithal to pull those types of games out. Should have gone 4-2 in those last year, but because of the Auburn result, they were 3-3 in those games.
All right, so let's look back to last year for a sec. You've got Missouri, you've got Auburn, and you've got LSU. Those were really the 3 games that people pinpointed as games you should have won or could have won. What did they not do last year in those games, Tom, that they have to do this year in order to get over that one possession hump?
Did we lose Tom?
Tom?
I don't think it's your microphone.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My ear hit the mute button there. So you get a stop in the last 43 seconds against Missouri, you win that game. You get a stop in either of Auburn's last two possessions. You know, they had the missed field goal possession and then the last one. You get a stop in one of those last two, or you continue a drive and you win that game. Or if the officials adjudicate the call properly. And then the LSU game, I really think that targeting call on Jalen Catalon was one that should not have been made. We can split hairs on it or anything, but from that call on, LSU goes down and scores the go-ahead touchdown, and then anyway, all that to say,
and COVID in that game, you know, COVID just ravaged your lineup. So
and they were right in the middle of the game, so they lose those three, and then you know you can flip it around, and they won tight games in three other games. So you know they held on to beat Mississippi State, even though you know they got a Mike Woods unsportsmanlike conduct foul at a chance to close the game out, and they had to give the ball back. So I just think having a little bit more stamina, and that goes along with your depth. And I feel like they're going to be a deeper team this year.
Yeah. So what is improvement this year? Someone say, well, you won 3 last year, so if you win 4 or more, you've improved. Well, you won 3 SEC games last year in the 10-game schedule, as we all know. But this year you get the non-conference games back, which – you know, you're at a point you feel like, you know, Rice and Georgia Southern and UAPB ought to be kind of built-in wins. So to just kind of hold serve, in some people's minds, you got to win 6, which would be 3 SEC games and those 3 non-conference games to just say you're kind of on the same footing as last year. What in your mind do you need to see win-wise and win total-wise, considering 3 SEC wins last year, the schedule differences this year? What is the line of demarcation, Tom, for improvement over last year?
Yeah, that's a great poser, Tommy, because you're right. If you just match your SEC win total, although that came in 10 games, and now you're going to play 8, then and win those other 3, then you're at 6 and you're bowl eligible. So to me, that's the point. Win 3 SEC games, win 3 non-cons. Okay, if you add on that, if you beat Texas and say win two conference games, then you're at 6, and I think that's pretty cool too. But if you go down each game individually, you know, Missouri game late in the year, it apparently this is going to be a toss-up game year after year, but it's at home, so you should be able to beat Missouri. The Mississippi State games at home, you beat them last year. Well, what if Mississippi State has its stuff together and is a lot more formidable offensively, as you would expect under Mike Leach with Will Rogers at quarterback? Well, that's a tough out now. The Ole Miss game that you won at home by 12 with 7 turnovers is now on the road. That's tough. Auburn game should have won last year. Well, that one's at home, but will Auburn be better? That's what I love about the SEC. You can make assumptions, but when it gets to Saturday, it's the team that shows up and has the best will, the best game plan, and executes the cleanest that's going to win the game. So I'm just saying, generally, if they win 6 games, I think it's a positive season.
Yeah, to me, if you could just draw it up what you wanted and be reasonable, 6 or 7 wins this year for the future of the program, for the fan base itself, because these games are at home. Tom, if they could find a way to beat Auburn, Mississippi State, and Missouri, which I think are reasonable asks, but to do that in front of the home fan base, which deserves to see some winning football in their own stadium, I think those are the games that, hey, you got the edge of playing at home. Those are the ones you need to, you know, they say you can only get a team up so many times a year. Those are the 3 that I think you got to focus on more than anything. And from a business standpoint and just building for the future standpoint, having recruits in for those games, there's just a lot of angles that go into it, from ticket holders to recruits to just energy around the program. Winning those 3 SEC games in front of your fans will do more for future seasons than I think anything else you could do this year.
Yeah, great point, Tom. And most definitely, if you could do that at home, be a lot of love for Sam Pittman if they just start holding serve better at home.
Yeah, let's start there.
If you can, It does start there, and if you
let's
keep
start
building,
there.
if you keep building, if you get guys in the trenches like they're starting to accumulate, if you can get some real, some skill talent that's just difference makers, more Treylon Burks, more speed guys with good hands, keep the quarterback flow going, then maybe you start knocking off the LSUs, the A&Ms, and the Alabamas. Those are the teams that Arkansas has really struggled with in most of the last decade.
And the other point to that, guys, is Mississippi State and Missouri in the last month of the season. We all know that wins in the last month, they don't count for more on paper, but in our minds.
Remember in November.
Exactly. So we all know that there's a little extra weight on what you do in November. So if you could beat State and Missouri at home in front of your fans, we know about the two other difficult games with LSU and Bama, or at least seemingly difficult at this point. We know Bama will be. Tom, that would be a real relief for fans at that point, and I think for Sam and his program if you can kind of get those heavier wins, as I would call them, late in the year.
Absolutely, and if you do that and they play about like we think, then those will be pressure games that get you bowl eligible, which kind of hypes it up even more. So we'll see how things develop. If everything falls into place, maybe they're a team that can beat Texas and then. And be engaged in the A&M game and have a chance like they've had many other times in the last decade, then maybe they could even write a bigger story.
Guys, I just can't get on board with 5 wins as being a step forward, though. I can't get there. So,
well, it's legit because you add all the non-conference games. Yeah. So they need to be a team that makes it so when they play a Georgia Southern, they get on top early, and it's almost kind of like it's no doubt. There has been so few of those games, even Portland State a few years ago. So few games that you just jump on top of somebody, and they don't really have a chance.
Tom Murphy with us here on the Morning Rush. You talk about getting more Treylon Burks in here, Tom. Well, there's only one Treylon Burks, 6'3", over 220 or 230 pounds, 4.4 speed, hands about the size of my face. Like, this guy, people got to soak it in this year. And Tommy and I were discussing earlier. Tom, he's the most anticipated Razorback player since fill in the blank, football-wise.
Yeah. Thanks for the heads up on that, because if you just get hit with that, people might say, oh, Darren McFadden. But you know what? There was a lot of hype about Ryan Mallett coming in and being the quarterback starter in 2009. So, honestly, I really love that receiving class. I don't think Arkansas is ever going to have another receiving core. So this is, a trio or a quartet of Adams and Wright and Childs and Gragg. Never a receiving core. And then Kobe Hamilton comes in the next year. But for just one individual, I would say Mallett in 9. And then, of course, he did what he was expected to do, help turn the program around, and they were really good in 10.
Tom, before we let you go, it's Hot and Spicy Food Day. We've yet to hit in this food conversation, so I'll let you kick it off. What is your favorite hot and spicy food of all of them out there?
I do like hot and spicy, but I don't like the kind that hurts your mouth. You know what? Last night I had my own garden-picked purple whole peas, and I put my own Thai hot spice in it. And that's going to be it. Purple whole peas. I don't think you're going to get that from any other respondent to your poll.
I'd say that's fair case. You mentioned the Thai stuff. My cousin, who is a chef in Birmingham, Alabama, sent me home with 3 hot sauces, and I put some of the Thai stuff on my chicken, mushroom, and rice last night. It's a good comparison because I love Thai stuff. And Tom, we love hearing from you, and we'll do it again on Monday. And as we get closer to Arkansas football being 16 days out right now.
Cool, man. I'm going to start revving up toward that game. See y'all.
All right, good
Thanks,
stuff.
Tom.
Good stuff from Tom Murphy. All right, I do want to come back to this. You've told me all summer, because I've said the exact same thing you just said. You completely reverted courses. All summer I've said it will be a disappointment if this team wins just 5 games. And you have said repeatedly, on repeat, over and over, that it depends on how they lose them. But now you're jumping on, I guess, my ship, saying it doesn't matter if they just win 5 games. It's still a disappointment of sorts.
Got the right to change my mind, but you just stop and equate where you – some want to say, well, 4 wins is more than 3. 5 wins is more than 3. That means you're progressing in the right manner. I do think there is some validity to the thought. We all agree how you lose games matters, right? I mean, we've seen way too many in the Chad Morris era. Over the last decade, too many games where you got beat 35+. South Carolina one time, was it 52-3? A&M beat you badly in 12. We've all lived out those nightmares. Those are demoralizing, program-destroying losses. There's a difference in that and then like the way you lost to the games we just talked about, LSU and Auburn last year and Missouri. And there are differences in that. I can't say that you've improved on last year. That was my question with Thomas. Have you improved your position as a program if you don't win at least 3 SEC games? Because to me, the 3 non-conference games are gimmies with Rice, Georgia Southern, and UAPB. You ought to have, if you don't get to 6 wins, have you really taken a step forward? Or are you in the same spot as a program? How you lose some of those other games will also factor into that. Five's not a disaster, but 5's not any better.
Can you get to 6 wins without being Texas? Can you win 3 non-conference? You think?
No, we just talked about the 3
conference games.
Auburn, Mississippi State, Missouri. Do you think those are unwinnable games?
I'll tell you something about Auburn. Apparently, Bo Nix is still throwing picks left and right in scrimmages and stuff. And Ole Miss's defense, apparently they were happy about it, and then Lane Kiffin just chewed him out after this last scrimmage. Sark is ticked about his. We heard from Clay earlier this week. They don't know who's going to play quarterback. They have no idea. So there are. I was looking at. When I was talking with Connor about his 7-5 Arkansas prediction yesterday. He thinks this is going to be the most wild SEC West that we've seen since 2014. It's been quite some time.
I think the veteran players around the league, including Arkansas, give teams you wouldn't otherwise think have a chance to upset certain teams an opportunity this year.
Because think about it. Texas is going to have a new quarterback rolling in week 2. A&M's got a new quarterback week 4. I'll go through. Let's go through these SEC West teams with question marks. Alabama, as pumped as you are about the defense, as good as they are every year, Bryce Young still hasn't played significant minutes in the Southeastern Conference. They go to Gainesville, and they go to College Station in 2 of the first 4 weeks. Moving on to Auburn. Brian Harsin, new coach. Bo Nix. You still don't know what you have with him. A lot of turnover there. They lost Big Cat Bryant. They've lost other guys. They got no depth behind Tank Bigsby at Auburn at the running back position. All right, keep it going. The M schools, Mississippi State. That might be the worst team in the SEC West. Mike Leach, still trying to figure things out there. Looked like the SEC defense kind of figured him out down the stretch. Ole Miss, great offense, terrible defense. Who am I missing? A&M, great overall team. Lost a couple offensive linemen. Got to worry about that. You don't know who their quarterback's going to be. Who am I missing? LSU. Turmoil on the field, turmoil off the field. Coming off 2 years ago a national championship. Last year, they were up and down, up and down, up and down. You should have beat them at home. There are question marks all throughout this SEC West. And what do we keep coming back to with Arkansas? Experience, experience, experience. When you have experience, regardless of any line of work you're in, it's not always the top tier echelon of what you need, but 9 times out of 10, it helps you out. And that's what Arkansas has this year. Now, they don't have it at quarterback, but they got it pretty much at every other position on the field, which is key. And it's going to help you in 2021.
Auburn, Mississippi State, Missouri. You got to go all out to win those 3. If you win those 3, you ought to feel like you've had a successful season at that point, and you ought to be in a bowl game.
All right, coming up here on the Morning Rush, we're going to get into your Hog update. A lot of news, including basketball. If you want to get a season ticket, you might want to hop on board because they're going fast.
Better hurry. Hey, a lot of great fall days and weekends are ahead of us, and Gaston's White River Resort's a great place to enjoy a fall getaway, whether it's a company retreat, anniversary, or birthday coming up, or you just need to relax and unwind, got some time away from work that you need to use up. Hey, Gaston's is a great close-to-home spot that you can relax on the White River. Get with one of their great guides. They'll book that trip for you when you call Gaston's and spend some time fishing, because fishing's the star of the show. That's the reason you go to Gaston's, is for those trophy browns and those trophy rainbows that come out of the world-famous White River. So enjoy some great trout fishing, whether you like to fly fish or bait fish. They can help you either way at Gaston's White River Resort. Go to Gastons.com. They got 80 cabins and lodges. There's one perfect for you and your group at Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
This is Drew Morgan, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Burton Pools and Spas is your source for backyard fun. Cool off in your own above-ground pool this summer. Cash and carry savings at only $19.99. Don't miss this opportunity to make your backyard fun this summer. Ask about Burton's full line of Doughboy above-ground pools that are built to last for years. Cash and carry savings on above-ground pools going on now at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and always online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Need a little something to get you through hump day? Swing by Sody's and save 10% on all regular priced wine, cheese, and boar's head meats today. That's right, it's Wine and Cheese Wednesday at Sody's. Experience different at Sody's Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sody's.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Call Kohler and Green Insurance today in Fort Smith at 484-9888 and Kohler and Green Insurance in Van Buren at 474-9888.
In the mood for a top shelf night? 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge has your number. Sit back, relax, and enjoy select wines, top shelf spirits, and handcrafted cocktails in a rich, comfortable, sanitized setting with state-of-the-art air filtration. Indulge in one of our delicious appetizers, sandwiches, salads, or specialty items for carry-out or dine-in. Open Tuesday through Saturday. Stop by 906 Garrison Avenue in Fort Smith. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith.
Have you been looking for your next place to call home and just haven't found the right one? Then it's time to check out the properties at Trinity Multifamily. With a variety of apartments, duplexes, townhomes, and houses, there is surely one to fit your needs. Whether it's in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas, or Central Arkansas that you are looking at, they have you covered. Give them a call today. Trinity Multifamily, 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources. Has the summer heat got you down? Got the back-to-school blues? Well, keep your cool, because I've got a deal to turn that rising mercury into sizzling savings for you. Just choose from a red-hot selection of Rath road-ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center, and take advantage of discounts up to $5,300 below retail. That discount can go a long ways towards helping you get the nicer, newer car, truck, or SUV you've been wanting at a price and payment you can afford. If you're not ready to trade, let us take care of the car you have in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires. Better yet, click, call, or come by today and start driving better in a Rath road-ready vehicle and take advantage of discounts up to $5,300 below retail. But don't wait. A smoking deal like this can't last forever and absolutely ends August 31st. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced.
ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey. Oh, yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Arkansas wins the national championship! The Arkansas season.
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Tommy Grant from Lone Oak texted in this morning, says that he just changed his 6-win prediction to 10 wins based off what I just said about question marks within the SEC West. I'm not going to 10 wins. I don't know what Razorback fan thinks we're getting to 10 wins. I'd like to meet you because your optimism is through the roof. You're definitely glass, not just half full, but 99% full this morning. All right, it's your Hog Update, and it's brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Razorback basketball. We've spent a lot of time talking about ticket sales for football. I'll tell you what, this Razorback basketball team is quietly putting together a full house this upcoming season. There are less than 2,000 tickets available, season tickets for Bud Walton this year. No lower bowl. They've been sold out.
And lower bowl has been difficult to get maybe the seat you want or four together. You know, I would think with today's computer technology, you could, you know, when you go on and do the seat assignment things and pick yours, or, you know, they got the deal now where you buy them and you get an appointment to improve your seat placement. In the lower bowl for a while, it's been, you know, maybe two in the corner over here, but anything kind of on the sidelines, a onesie here, a singleton there, it's been tough for a long time in that regard.
Mm-hmm. So I wonder, because we're 80-something days out from Razorback basketball. It's 80 or 90. It's kind of in that ballpark. Can you sell out season tickets for Bud Walton Arena this year?
Again, it comes back to, do you want tickets bad enough you're willing to sit in the upper deck corner? Because when you get down to 2,000 or less seats, where are you going to be? You're going to be in the upper deck, corners, and end zones. Those are the ones that are the least desired seats right now.
Yep.
They're not bad seats from the standpoint the scoreboard's got big video boards on it. You're part of the atmosphere. You know, and there's not a seat in that building that doesn't have a good view of the court. So it's just whether or not, hey, I just want to be in the building, and I don't care where the seat's at. If you can find, you know, 1,000 people to buy 2 tickets, then you're in on that. But I would imagine, I haven't looked at the chart, I would imagine most of what's left at this point is upper deck, end zones, and corners.
Other sports for your Hog Update. Razorback volleyball was ranked number 5 in the FCC preseason poll. The soccer team, Colby Hale squad, ranked number 13, has 6 in the SEC preseason watch list. They start out strong on the road against North Carolina and Duke, the number 6 and 3 teams in the country.
Haven't they been matched up with them in previous years, in recent years, in the tournament, in postseason?
That sounds right.
I think that's
I'd
right.
I'd be lying if I told you anything, if I knew.
So, I mean, the point is that's how good these non-conference matches are at the beginning of the year.
I know that some of you have been paying attention to what Moses Moody has been doing in Summer League. He's putting up pretty stellar statistics. Well, he's actually going to be back in Arkansas this weekend doing a free autograph session in Fayetteville at the Walmart 3919 on North Mall Avenue. That's from 2 to 4 this Saturday. Then he's back in Little Rock at 700 Bowman Curve Bowman Road at that Walmart from 12:30 to 2:30 this Sunday. Again, free autographs. You can't bring personal items. He'll sign it. I think it's Upper Deck is the brand of the company that he's been doing it with, but he'll be back in Arkansas this weekend.
Well, and I know a lot of people are going to be excited to maybe get a picture with Moses, meet him, and like you said, bring whatever item it is. I bet they'll have a few of those items available for purchase nearby where he's signing autographs if you want to pick up something to get signed. But you're going to see more and more of these kind of things, even with current athletes, and good to see Moses back in our state for a little while.
Former Razorback SID, longtime Rick Schaefer is going to be joining me on Trusting the Process today. Now, he was also Springdale Communications Director, retired in June. I'm really excited to talk with Rick, someone I've listened to back in Little Rock, someone I've listened to on the Arkansas game broadcast. Now, he's done baseball. He's done basketball. Did he do football too?
Yeah, he was for many years in with Paul, and of course he's been part of the pregame show in recent years. But no, he's been part of all 3 broadcasts in my lifetime in prominent roles.
So make sure you listen to that. It's going to be released later this afternoon. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Trusting the Process, The Morning Rush, Halftime, Ruskin and Zach, soon Fantasy Football Sunday next month. And we also have our newest edition, Coffee with Counsel, with Kevin Hickey and Brad Hull. Treylon Burks was mic'd up at practice earlier this week.
They got me mic'd up today.
You're mic'd?
Yeah.
I guess I'll have to not talk bad to you.
Nah, good. Hey, you dropped that. Got you. Hit him now, hit him now, hit him now. Good job, Malik.
Go win, back pile on.
Good job, JD.
Very good, JD.
Hey, it's a slant stick. Come back out.
You mic'd up?
Yeah.
That's fun.
Coach Pitt, you dropped that thing. Gotcha. Woo!
Whole team's running sprints.
What do you think the odds are that they ran sprints?
Probably very minimal. But it's kind of funny that the way they interacted there. I don't think he'd make them run over that. He talks about conditioning, that they don't ever run them because they're mad at him. Well, that's a change in philosophy from years gone by. There's a lot of old guys listening to them. Well, our coach ran us just for the fun of it.
What's the worst? Have you ever puked? We used to have it was called Hell Week or it was Grit Week. I don't remember what it was, but our basketball team in high school had a sole week dedicated to conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
No, we didn't touch a basketball. We just got up, had to be there from 6 to 7 a.m. or 6:30 to 7:30, whatever it was, an hour of straight conditioning. And it was awful.
Yeah. The worst, I mean, basketball's hard because it's generally in a hot gym, particularly if it's early in the year. I guess maybe the worst was junior high. We had to, in the off-season ran gashers where you'd start on one side of the field and you run to the, it's kind of like red lines in basketball, just football version. You'd run to the hash mark and back, and then you'd run to midfield, the far hash and back, and then the far sideline and back, and you'd get down to the end. And, well, in your position group, if you won that particular run, you got to quit. When you got down to the end of them. And you did not want to be the slowest in your group. So,
tough for the offensive lineman and the defensive
well, I mean, you ran
lineman.
against the other lineman or whatever, but the winner got to quit. That was always motivating. So
okay,
you got down to the last few.
That makes sense. All right, one more tidbit in your Hog update. Clay Travis is going to be taking his Outkick bus and crew to Fayetteville. They're doing this type of bus thing. I was bummed. I was hoping this bus thing would be a college game day bus, but I guess beggars can't be choosers. Now, Clay Travis is kind of like the Dallas Cowboys. You either love him or you hate him.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoy him. Now, he's had some takes in the last year or so that I'm just completely against, but I'm curious to where he sets up like Old Main, or if they set up on Dixon, or where they end up doing their whole thing. And he's going to be the correspondent for Fox's Big Noon Kickoff that weekend.
Yeah. And, Fox knows, hey, we got to have some SEC tie-ins, and obviously they, for that Texas game, it makes sense for them for what they do with the Big 12. So, yeah. Will this create a lot of stir? I'm guessing with guys in their 20s and 30s, you'll have some interest in this. I don't know how many guys my age and north of my age probably pay a lot of attention to his sports stuff. So, I don't know. He'll have a good crowd around him. He always seems to have a good following.
All right, that's going to do it for your Hog Update.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
All right, coming up in hour number 3, we're going to get into a little Throwback Thursday. I was going through some of the big-time news and notes, whether it's sports, political, whatever it may be. There's a couple big-time events that happened on this day 30, 40, 50, 100 years ago. And we'll get into that and a lot more in hour number 3.
We're closing in on the game 2 weeks from Saturday, Arkansas's first game with Rice. If you're making plans throughout the season, which games you're going to, the ones you're not going to be at Joe's Grill and Cantina on South 74th Street in Fort Smith. Half-price apps and taps back again for the 21 season. They do it during every Hog game. All the appetizers on the menu are half-price during games. All the beers on tap, half-price during games. So it's a great place to just kind of make an appointment with you and your crew. That's where you're going for games, is Joe's Grill and Cantina. Half-price apps and taps, the brisket nachos, the sampler platter, the Mexican pizza. It's all there for you at Joe's Grill. South 74th Street across from Harps during every Hog game.
Also going to get into what Arkansas football can do in order to improve its recruiting. A lot more to get to. Hour number 3 is next.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Tired of wearing contacts, glasses, or bifocals? Volt Vision of Northwest Arkansas has an option for you no matter your age. LASIK or clear lens exchange. Quick 15-minute procedure, easy 24-hour recovery, and freedom from contacts, glasses, and or readers. Volt Vision, that's VOLD Vision. Mention ESPN for $500 off your LASIK or clear lens exchange procedure. Volt Vision, the official eye care provider of the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Wheels RV in Springdale wants you to seek out all the Natural State has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels RV was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. 5 miles west of I-49, exit 72. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas invites you to see the new RF Series fixed chamber round balers from New Holland. They're simple, tough, and affordable, and they make it easy to create quality bales in a wide range of conditions. The perfect choice for smaller livestock farms, sundowners, and rural lifestylers. Ask about 0% financing offers or choose cash discounts. RF Series round balers. Modern productivity, proven simplicity. Call or come by Williams Tractor today.
Coal Hill, Altus, Hunt, and surrounding areas. Wave Rural Connect is soon to be available to you. All-fiber internet service and includes television and phone with high-speed internet. It is time to pre-register. Visit waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC to pre-register so you're ready to go when the Coal Hill Zone opens up August 20th. The next wave is coming. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
If you think nothing good happens after dark, you clearly never brought the crew to B-Dubs. Our new half-off late-night food will make you wish it were nocturnal. Every night starting at 9 p.m., get 50% off Ultimate Nachos, chips and salsa, plus crispy buffalo chicken tots or Dirty Dubs tots. So don't sleep on our late-night food and $3 Tall House beer. Grab the crew and get the Buffalo Wild Wings for late night. Valid 7/12 through 8/31 at participating locations starting at 9 p.m. till close for dine-in only. 50% off only available on select items. Add-ons cost extra. Excludes other offers. Excludes tax and alcohol. Please drink responsibly.
The Golf Nut has been Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994. They've carried the best brands in golf with the best pricing available. The Golf Nut has a great selection of demo clubs in stock. Titleist Vokey wedges have finally arrived. Stop in and get yours now while you can. The Golf Nut has a wide selection of shoes, apparel, and accessories. Everything you need for the everyday golfer. The driving range is open, or take advantage of the climate-controlled TrackMan simulation bays inside. As always, check Facebook for daily specials. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith.
Looking for a fence company that will provide the personal touch to your fence or gating project? Call Dusty's Fence Company at 479-629-4190. Dusty's Fence Company specializes in custom wood design, vinyl fencing, chain link and ornamental iron projects, and they can even stain your fence to complete your project. Family owned and in business for 20 years, you will deal with the same person from start to finish. That's Dusty's Fence Company, 479-629-4190.
When you've escaped the screens and the sun bathes everything in a golden glow, and your friend hands you a cold organic beer that tastes as perfect as nature itself, that's pure gold. Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, the first national USDA certified organic beer. Organic by nature. Enjoy responsibly. 2020 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, St. Louis, Missouri.
Whether it's a game day, a holiday, an office function, or your family lunch or dinner, Whole Hog Cafe on Phoenix Avenue is ready to serve you their award-winning barbecue and sides. Dine in or call for takeout at Whole Hog Cafe on Phoenix Avenue, or go online at wholehogfortsmith.com and make sure to check out their buddy packs and party packs. Whole Hog Cafe on Phoenix Avenue is currently open 11 till 6 Monday through Friday.
Experience award-winning barbecue and sides at Whole House Cafe on Phoenix Avenue today.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, chance of showers and thunderstorms are high this afternoon in the mid to upper 80s. Tonight, a few isolated showers or storms and overnight low in the low 70s. Friday, chance of showers and scattered storms are high close to the 90-degree mark, and a few more hit-or-miss showers or storms on Saturday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Mr. Reuter Plumbing and Drain Cleaning. Book your appointment at MrReuter.com.
You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Bushlight Studios on ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by the Bobby Garland Baby Shed. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place.
It's relentless. It's all the time. So I really learned a lot from Kirby about the passion of recruiting. I've done well recruiting in my life, but he prepared me more for this head coaching job. I appreciate him.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Bushlight Studios.
People who really want to have a good time won't come to a slaughterhouse. And we've got entirely too many troublemakers here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
I don't like you because you're dangerous. That's right. I am dangerous.
Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com. I hit the 7-iron like John Daly hits the 3.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
You just gotta keep living, man.
And Tommy Kraft.
We follow orders or people die. Are we clear?
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes, sir.
It's a recruiting Thursday here on The Morning Rush. Now, typically at this time, Richard Davenport joins us, but he's actually on vacation this week, so we're going to have Sam Spiegelman coming up at the end of the hour, where he is a national recruiting expert for Rivals. We're going to get kind of a national perspective on what Arkansas football is as a whole right now. I do want to spend some time here coming up on a little Throwback Thursday. We'll do some other recruiting talk as well.
Hey, tomorrow will be our Fence Man Friday picks. We'll do that about 7:45 or so tomorrow, so join us for that. We do those every Friday. The Fence Man is looking to add to their team because they're the top fence building company in the area, and they need more quality craftsmen to join their team to build fences. So if you've got fence building experience in general, they want to welcome you to apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street and go to work with one of the great companies that offers top pay, great benefits package. So it's not just you come on board and we're just going to pay you and there's no health insurance. No, they got all of that, health, dental, all the benefits you'd expect there with the Fence Man. Apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street. They're looking for people to join them at the Fence Man, where they're not afraid of no work.
All right, let's do it. A little Throwback Thursday.
I just bought this throwback.
Yeah, I've seen those Throwback Thursday pics.
Throwback pass complete.
It's kind of a throwback. Feels very 8th grade.
Time for Throwback Thursday.
Drew, I'm glad you brought to my attention 70 years ago today, and I'll let you say his name. Is it Eddie Goodell? Is that how you say his name?
I believe that's how you say his name.
Eddie Goodell, who at the time was 43 inches tall, drew 4 walks, or a walk on 4 pitches against the Tigers for Bill Veek, who owned the St. Louis Browns. So I had not seen this picture. You guys were well aware.
I was shocked that you've never seen this picture. It's a pretty famous baseball picture, and for anybody who hasn't seen it, it's obviously a 3-foot 7-inch man at bat against the Detroit Tigers, and Tigers catcher is fully on his knees trying to get his low, and it was one of the weirdest gimmicks of all time in baseball. And if you know the history of the St. Louis Browns, it's not shocking.
When you look at it, you think it's like from a Little League game or kid. You had to, we've
like
all
Mike
seen this
for baseball.
We've all seen the painting somewhere hanging in a, your your grandfather's office at work or so. I mean, the painting has been reproduced and been around for a long time. So, but there's a lot of nuance, I guess you'd say, in the art piece itself.
So we're digging up the equipment for our Hardee's show this Friday, and then also Saturday for the Thick Burger contest. And I'm going through the closet because that's what I was asked to do. What are the guitars? Is that from the old music station?
Yeah, it's from a previous radio life. Yeah.
What are they signed by?
Some bands that I probably couldn't tell you.
Okay. There's a couple big-time music posters in there as well. They had some nice headphones in there that have just probably been sitting there for 5 years. They're Sennheiser headphones.
Longer than that, I bet.
Might have to whip those suckers out. Hey, way back in 1909, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway opened in Speedway, Indiana. Which one opened last week that we talked about?
Well, we talked about, I believe we talked about the in Indianapolis, the Indy 500. Indianapolis Motor Speedway's anniversary we spoke of last week in this segment.
Okay, well, this said also in 1909 that it opened up here as well. So one of these dates is off, apparently. Bill Clinton was born back in this day. He's either 75 or 76 years old, if I remember his timeline correctly. The Salem witch trials were also going on way back in the 1600s.
Was that an assigned reading for y'all in high school or college?
It was for us.
Yeah.
That was a weird little stint.
Then you had to write a book report or write a paper on what it meant and all, I don't know what this means, over my head.
People were nuts back in the day. It's very McCarthy it was very Joseph McCarthy-esque, where you just accuse someone of something and then there's just a mob, and it's just that's what it felt like it was. It's one of the communism back in the day. You're a communist.
Or was it satire?
I don't know what it was. Yeah. Ty Cobb got his 3,000th hit against the Boston Red Sox way back when in 1921. He was the youngest ever and was the fourth person to do that. I don't know how many have done it since then, but Ty Cobb, one of the more notable baseball players in history, is also a DB, apparently, based on some of the stuff I read. Usain Bolt had another sweep. Y'all back in 2016 had 3 gold medals he won for his 3rd consecutive Olympics. Could you beat Usain Bolt in a 40-yard dash if you got a 20-yard head start?
No.
Ooh. Still no?
Not a prayer.
No, I think he'd
Still?
probably...
Halfway?
I'd like to try. That'd be a fun video, right? That'd be fun to...
I'd watch it.
Yeah.
Maybe now, not in his prime.
I don't know. Even in your prime, in my prime, could we do it?
What's the fastest 40 you ever ran in high school?
4.
Oh, wow. You're in the 4s.
Barely. 4.92.
Okay.
I think.
You know yours?
I was never clocked in high school. I did do this 4 or 5 years ago. We did it when John just started working here, and we were over at the athletic club. They were training athletes that were high school age for 40s, and we were promoting that. So part of what we did, we went over and did that, and I was like upper 5s.
Okay.
So
I think I ran
and I don't think I could probably do it sub 6 right now.
I think when I was in middle school, I ran a 5.6. Now, I've never been fast. I could never jump high. I just had to play smart sports, and that's about it, because I was not given an ounce of athleticism from my father whatsoever. All right, Roger Clemens, back in 2010, was indicted on 6 counts of perjury for allegedly lying to congressional hearings for PED use in February 2008 when he testified he had never used banned substances. That was a weird time for baseball.
And how many days did he go to jail? How many days was he in the federal pen over that? Anyone?
I don't fall back. I'm assuming none.
Exactly.
Did he get a cush prison like Will Ferrell? And
my boy was, it was all about. I mean, in the end, about nothing. I mean, a lot of other people out of Congress go to prison for years. He didn't.
He didn't seem to. So. All right, 2001 PGA.
Went to McGuire out. I don't remember. I guess I misremembered. All those things.
2001 PGA Championship. David Toms wins his first major title. Beat Phil Mickelson in 1 stroke.
Phil's not quite to Jack's level on runner-ups, but particularly U.S. Open, you look at Phil's as many majors as he's won. He's probably got maybe more runner-up positions.
Does he?
Yeah, you look at Jack Nicklaus's career. He obviously is still the all-time major champion and probably will be. I don't think Tiger, after the car wreck, will probably ever catch him now. But Jack had a ton of runner-up finishes too, and Phil's got a lot of those to his credit.
Brett says that we should run into 40 against each other again. Brett Good. Should we?
I'm almost 20 years older than you, so I would need the 20-yard head start. I ought to get a yard head start for every year of difference between us.
Difference.
Yeah.
You're 45. I'm 26.
If I've got to give you strokes on the golf course, then I should get yards on a 40-yard dash.
How many strokes do I get on the golf course?
Well,
19?
Well, I don't think I can give you a stroke a hole. But,
just give me 1 point,
so
whatever that would be. Yeah, 19. I'll tell you what. I'll give you a 19-yard head start in the 40 if I get 19-stroke head start in golf.
All right.
Fair enough?
We're going to keep I may not want to keep it by the rules, but anyway.
Billy Cannon back in 1983 was sentenced to 5 years for counterfeiting, the former LSU running back. Do you remember Billy Cannon at all?
Obviously the name is pretty. No, I don't remember much about the counterfeiting stuff, but from '83. But yeah, I think the name Billy Cannon is
it's pretty synonymous with LSU football,
right?
I would think, especially for a lot of our listeners when they think about.
You were really trying to make an effort in '83 with the technology on hand then for counterfeiting, right? I'm assuming this is Bill's. I have to go back and read the story. I don't know the.
When did?
Yeah, if I remember right, he got caught with the plates.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what I'm saying. This isn't a color copier in the office that you're you're just fooling around on, or some today's technology with the soft. You're really making the effort through. What's the movie Catch Me If You Can?
And that's where I was going.
You're making that kind of effort.
Frank.
Yeah.
Help us, Morning Rush listeners. Frank Abagnale. Abagnale. Junior.
Yeah.
Junior.
Yeah.
With is it Christopher Waltz? Is that how you say his
Walken,
name?
Isn't it?
Walken,
yeah.
As his father in that movie. Tom Hanks is the one. When was that? Because that was Pan Am was the big.
It was a story. It was a true story. What, back from the 60s?
Oh, it was way back in the 60s?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was that's a great Leonardo DiCaprio
That's another
movie.
one of those. If I find it on and there's nothing else on, I'll watch an hour of that.
It's great. And we were discussing, Tommy, I know I and Clay were discussing just the Kevin Costner, Tom Hanks dynamic because they both had a flurry of great movies over the years. I love that one for Tom Hanks. I still have yet to see Castaway and Wilson.
Really?
Have you never
seen that?
Hadn't seen it. It's on my list. Yeah, there's a good chunk of movies on my list that I hadn't seen.
DiCaprio's got a lot. It seems like Titanic is on all the time. If you got the movie, you can't escape that movie. And it's like, 3.5 hours long. But, and that's another one of those rabbit holes you'll fall in, 30 or 45 minutes of watching, and you've seen it 100 times.
Pretty sure one of my parents walked in on me one time in the painting scene of the Titanic when that happened to pop on. I didn't know it.
Supposed to be watching that?
I guess not. Apparently that was a big no-no in the Richardson household. I enjoyed it. Full disclosure.
Sure you did.
Yeah. I don't know where to go from that. I don't have a transition. I can't do that now.
You don't want to go.
You left me nowhere.
You can't.
I can't go into that.
Tell me you hadn't seen the Titanic painting scene?
Well, I can't go into a read for a client after you talking about watching nudity as a minor. I don't know where to go.
Here's the
no transition.
Here's the other thing. I think it was Phil convinced me to watch. I think this was a halftime homework segment, and Phil was the one that convinced me to watch. What's the Sharon Stone movie?
Basic Instinct.
Basic Instinct.
Yeah, and we talked about you'd never seen that when you arrived here.
Yeah,
you were clearly sheltered as a youth.
Very, very.
That movie's 30 years old, early 92, 91, somewhere in there.
Yeah, that was an interesting scene when she's getting detained by the police officers there. And I'm sure every male listening to the program has either heard of it or probably seen it. All right, we will transition from sketchy movie scenes. I don't know what word to put in there. But we'll talk about this Arkansas football and recruiting now. I thought Tommy made a good point earlier talking about the continuity that you hope to have within this coaching staff with Sam Pittman seemingly being here for the rest of his coaching career. And we'll transition to that coming up here on the Morning Rush.
Hey, Wave Rural Connect is local and rural. They have expanded their service area now north of Ozarks. So go 833-4WAVE-RC and find out if they can bring high-speed, fast fiber internet to your home or business starting at $49.95 a month for 100 megabits of service. A gigabit of service with Wave Rural Connect is $79.95 a month. They continue to, every week and every month, expand their coverage and the growth of where their fiber network is at. They have TV packages and phone packages that you can have, so they can really become the company that takes care of phone, TV, and fast internet in your home, all at great low prices. Call 833-4WAVE-RC. That's 833-4WAVE-RC. Wave Rural Connect in Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative, changing the communities they serve.
You got to brag on the Jerry and Gene Jones Student Center, right? And all the great food that comes out of there. The college that spends the most money, athletic department-wise, on food in the country is your Arkansas Razorbacks out of Fayetteville. Not surprising the way we Arkansans like to eat and demolish food. It has gotten harder and harder for me to eat healthy, and it needs to be easier and easier considering it's harder and harder to lose weight.
And I know we like to find ways to say we're number one in something, so we found this little deal. Why is it? Is it because we open up that service to all of the sports, both men's and women's, and other schools don't do that, and they send their athletes to, the cafeteria on campus? I'm just wondering why Arkansas is number one in that compared to other SEC schools or other Power 5 schools, and why do they spend more? That's an interesting question to me.
So here's why I think it is what you just said. When I was in school, the student athletes stayed at the Northwest Quad, and I still think a good chunk of them live there, but that was where they ate for the most part over on that side. Now, with the center, they have their own specific, actually good for those who have ever had to eat Bruff food or Pomfret food or whatever the crap they've served over the years. It's not good. I've not had it, but I've been told from my buddies that were student athletes and the ones that worked as managers or as practice players in some capacity that have had the food over there is really good. Yeah. And it's specifically good because they don't want to serve bad food to.
And I get that could lead to some of the cost, but I think some of it is, there's schools that just don't have that for, and I know with Title IX you try to make everything equal, but Arkansas seemingly, that center is available if you're a golf athlete or a football athlete, if you're men's basketball or the soccer team,
tutors galore, Tommy.
So that is, I think, part of the reason is they're trying to serve all of the athletes, and I don't know that there's anything really like that at very many campuses. That's not something I think we look into, but it's a huge recruiting deal. But that's been brought up before, that they spend more on food than that's cool. Now why? Is it because they don't know how to buy things correctly, or is it because they're doing more than others? I'm going to assume it's the latter.
Yeah. And for Arkansas to have success, like we've seen in other sports over the years, you have to continue to build on it. And when you talk about building on the season before, it's also building on the recruiting success that you've had. You finished top 30 class in 2019, first year under Pitt. So that would have been 2020. This past class was a top 25-ish class. This one looks like it's going to be in the top 20. So you're progressing recruiting-wise in the right direction. And it looks pretty good. And you want to continue to inch in. You're never going to have a top 5 class. You might somehow, some way sneak into the top 10. I don't see that happening very often. But top 20, maybe top 15, that's something that I think this staff wants to be in. Very much so.
If you're going to do that, there's, to me, just two paths to make that happen, Texas and Florida, because when you look at, I went back and I was looking at the 22 and the 23 classes that are coming up, and you look at the number of athletes in percentage that come out of Texas and Florida, and it's no surprise where the best ones are, but it just when you look at the numbers, I had them written down, we talked about it while you were gone, it's just overwhelming where you need to go recruiting, because we were talking about it from the angle of Texas coming into the league and can you survive, and how A&M's. Listen, there's tons of athletes, and if the Big 12 slides away and the rest of the schools in Texas diminish in popularity and in value and importance, there's going to be plenty of 4 and 5 star, 3, 4 and 5 star athletes in Texas. But Florida's the other place, and there's a debate right now. What's better, Florida or Texas, as far as high school football? And just go look at anyone's rankings, top 100, top 300, and count the Texas and the Florida players and see how many are left.
Is Cali close to that? It's not. So I know what rankings you're talking about because I saw that list the other day.
Well, I just went through and took the ESPN 3, and I I physically just
counted them up.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
I've got the numbers somewhere written down here, but I mean, Texas was 1, Florida was 2, and everybody else was, just pieces from there on.
Y'all, I saw a rankings this past week. I think it was the last decade, 2010, 2020, and it had the 5 stars in the state. Maybe it was 4 and 5. I think it was just 5, and I want to say Arkansas's only had 2 in that time period, but SEC-wise.
Yeah, where I'm headed, if you're going to be in that top 15 conversation like you're talking about, you better be really good in Texas. I don't know if, you got Alex Collins out of Florida when Bielema was here. You get a few out of – I don't know how many you're going to really be able to go get outside that big geographic circle and get to come here. Maybe if they don't have a spot elsewhere, there's a family tie or an unusual circumstance, but I think you're going to have to make your living in Texas if you want to have top 20 classes on an annual basis.
Yeah. There's a lot of Arkansas kids. I was talking to a young man the other day that I was in the Highland Park area when I was on vacation, and there, I mean, when you think about the John Stephen Jones, at one point in time, Chandler Morris, Hudson Clark, there's a lot of Dallas kids that like Arkansas and just like the Jerry Jones feel and the Hudson Clarks and all these Dallas kids that are made their way. A lot of them are just like, I want to try something new. I want to get out of Texas. So,
and that's good for, we accept that. Hey, come here and play. Don't want any kid from our state to ever leave. So we don't want we want a one-way street there, because if any good player ever leaves our state, it's the end of the world. But there's just not enough 4- and 5-star players, and there's rarely a 5-star. Occasionally a lineman will get bumped up, depends on which service, but there's just not enough particularly skill position 5-stars, and there's rarely even 4-star skill position players in our state in football. So you're going to have to go somewhere and find them. In Texas, I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure out Texas is where it's at.
Just be right next door in Dallas, about 5 hours from Fayetteville. That's not a bad drive. You think about the talent that is in. I mean, you got Southlake, you got Highland Park. There are so many schools within Texas high school football that are just not only recognizable within the state of Texas and Arkansas, but nationally recognizable. And that's what they're doing. By the way, Southlake and Highland Park are playing this year. That's a game that I don't seek out Texas high school football games, Tommy. That's a game I'm probably going to watch if it's on TV.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Titans, and I don't even know who would you equate in Arkansas. That would be, Bryant versus
Pulaski Academy.
Or Greenwood versus Bryan or someone like that. Yeah. If you've tried to put it in Arkansas terms. Williams Tractors in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat of Northwest Arkansas and Rogers. They invite you to see the new RF Series fixed chamber round balers from New Holland. They're simple, tough, and affordable, and make it easy to create quality bales in a wide range of conditions. It's the perfect choice for small livestock farms, sundowners, and rural lifestylers. And they've got a couple different models to choose from. 3 models that are 4x4 bales and 2 that are 4x5 bales. You can get 0% financing, cashback offers. There's several options right now. Modern productivity, simple, proven simplicity. Call Williams Tractor today in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat of Northwest Arkansas and Rogers.
Tommy came back with a few gifts from the Stadium Shop yesterday. I'll tell you what they are next.
Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
This is Chuck Barrett, the voice of the Razorbacks, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Welcome to
the start of the season is just around the corner, and if you're into sports betting, Bet Online is where you should go to win some money today. Whether it's live bets during games or future bets on who you think will win the championship, Bet Online has all the latest odds, news, and information for all your online sports betting needs. Visit the website today or use your mobile device to join and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. So before the next big game or before the season starts, head on over to Bet Online and start playing today. That's Bet Online, your online sportsbook experts. Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab.
C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Tanya Tucker said when she died, she may not go to heaven because she didn't know if they let cowboys inside. Psalm 24 answers her question. Only those whose hands and hearts are pure, who do not worship idols and never tell lies. The only one qualified to meet that standard ascended after he died to pay the way for you to go inside. Believing in Jesus means he won't condemn us, and the only will be hotter than Texas. I'm Pastor Ethan Woodland. Think about it.
And take advantage of discounts up to $5,300 below retail. That discount can go a long ways towards helping you get the nicer, newer car, truck, or SUV you've been wanting at a price and payment you can afford. If you're not ready to trade, let us take care of the car you have in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Better yet, click, call, or come by today and start driving better in a Wrath road-ready vehicle and take advantage of discounts up to $5,300 below retail. But don't wait. A smoking deal like this can't last forever and absolutely ends August 31st. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Wrath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at wrathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced.
Wake up your happy at Hardee's with the new $3 French toast dips. Wait, what? French toast dip sprinkled with powdered sugar and served with a side of syrup. Sugary, syrupy, dippable. Sweeten up your morning at Hardee's. Who's gonna tell you no? Try the new $3 French toast dips at Hardee's. The sweet one on the 2-3 more breakfast menu. Feed your happy. Available during regular breakfast hours at participating Hardee's restaurants. Tax not included. Price and participation may vary.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Did you invest in real estate only to find out that real estate takes up too much of your time? If you answered yes, then it's time to make a call to the experts. With more than 30 years of combined property management experience and more than 16,000 units managed, Trinity Multifamily are the ones to call. Get your life back. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Call Kohler and Green Insurance today in Fort Smith at 484-9888 and Kohler and Green Insurance in Van Buren at 474-9888.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Here's a big hole. And number 6 is at midfield at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Mudway Hill.
Don't forget about dollar sausage biscuits at Hardee's this Friday in Fort Smith, Northwest Arkansas, and Sallisaw locations.
Got a couple gifts as of late. Got a gift text that we just received from our buddy Matthew Holland over at Bell Point Beverages. Tommy, I think Bud Lights just taste better with Razorbacks on them.
That's a cool-looking can. He sent us a picture of the Bud Light can that's going to have the Razorbacks on it this year.
It's red this year, too.
Red,
it's not just blue, it's red.
It's different, and they They look great. So I guess you can find one of these great-looking aluminum can Bud Lights coming up with a blue cap, red bottle, Razorback on it, Bud Light, and it says Go Hogs on it. So I think that'll be a tailgate favorite this year.
I've got one of them Andrew will make me a poster that I put on my room. I'm marking, so when you walk into my room, Tommy, the front door has a poster of the win-loss record, and I'll have a Sharpie on it. I write the win or loss for the season. Hopefully there'll be a bunch of W's instead of L's this upcoming year. Also got another shirt that I want to discuss coming up here on the Morning Rush as we keep it going here on a Recruiting Thursday.
If I said Mr. Beast or Mr. Beast Burger, do y'all know what that is?
Mr. Beast Burger.
Ever heard of it?
I'd be lying if I told you I did.
And I had never heard of it until about 4 or 5 months ago, and my kids were talking about this Mr. Beast Burger thing, and I'm like, what are you? And it's something they picked up on YouTube or whatever, and Mr. Beast Burger is now available and has been for a while now at River City Bistro. That's where Mr. Beast Burger comes out of as the kitchen at River City Bistro, but here's the news we want to tell you this morning. It's now available for takeout. So download the Mr. Beast Burger app, and you can have one of these great burgers. They got the beast-style combo, the chicken sandwich combo. But I promise you, there's a lot of people like us never heard of it before, but your kids know all about it. So if you mention Mr. Beast Burger, you can have it delivered to you with DoorDash or Uber or Waiter, but you can now order and have it for takeout at River City Bistro and pick it up there at 7320 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. So ask your kids about it when you pick them up from school today or see them tonight. Mr. Beast Burger, because I promise you it's probably something many of them have seen on social media or other places and have wanted it, don't know where to get it. Well, it's now available, Mr. Beast Burger, at 7320 Rogers Avenue for takeout, or you can order it online through DoorDash, Uber, or Waiter with the Mr. Beast Burger app.
Looks like I'm stopping at River City Bistro at some point.
Well, you got to get the app. You got to download the app and then order it and then pick it up there.
Ah, okay.
So that's how you do it.
All right. Well, there it is. All right. Speaking of ordering stuff, I think a lot of orders are going to be made for these beautiful new shirts that Robert Mann over at the Stadium Shop has given Tommy, myself. Also, we got some buttons. You want me to say it fast or slow?
No, because you can't speak the King's English when you try to talk fast. So, no, please do not say this phrase fast or, it's been nice knowing you.
Tuck, Tuck, Fexas.
Can you spell right,
Fexas.
Tuck.
Fexas.
Well, yeah.
Fexas. That was right.
You make me nervous. Anyway, we got the shirts and the buttons, and the Stadium Shop's going to have them. We're going to be there the week of the Texas game on that Thursday morning. I think he'll have to get another batch of these, and because these will go on the shelves today. I'm telling you, I was there when the boxes came in the door. I was just lucky to be there when they came in. That's shirt 1 and 2. I got 1, of course. You've got number 2. So we've got the first buttons and the first shirts that are out there, and you can go to the Stadium Shop and get your shirt and be ready for Texas because these are going to go fast.
I think
he'll have to get another order of them.
Did you get Clay one?
No, I did not.
You better mark that down.
I don't know when I'm going to see Clay next.
I'll see him at the Texas game.
Well,
I'll make sure to give it to
get him one for them.
Say, Clay, you have to wear this in the press box for the Texas game. You might get some looks from Kyle Parkinson and others, but you have to wear it.
He will not wear that in the press box.
Yeah. All right, some other news this morning. Scott Frost, Nebraska, are being investigated from the NCAA, according to Brett McMurphy and the Action Network. Penny Hardaway hired Rasheed Wallace as an assistant coach for Memphis's basketball team. There's only 2,000 seats, about 2,000 seats remaining for Razorback basketball season ticket holders. Not a single one of those are in the lower bowl. I think by the time that SEC play rolls around, as good as this team is that we think we're going to have in front of us this year, they might have a sellout for every SEC game, at least from the
Saturday games
buying perspective, not necessarily in attendance wise.
I think particularly the Saturday games will get more apt to be sold out. I think these weeknight games you play at 6 or 8 on Wednesdays or Tuesdays or Wednesdays is the SEC schedule. Sometimes to fill up the stadium or to fill up Bud Walton Arena, you're going to need folks from Clarksville and Russellville and Conway and Little Rock to come up. Boy, an 8 o'clock game, that's a big ask during the week, but I think you're right. People will buy the ticket. People are just more available for the weekend. So I think you're right that you're pretty close to having, when single game tickets go on sale, the Saturday games, you better get them early.
I know it's really hard on me because we watch the game for 2 hours, then we go to the press conference with Muss, and it's about an hour drive home. I'm usually not in bed till about 11:30 or 12 that night. So those nights I'd just rather stay at home and watch it on the SEC Network.
Yeah, I just don't. The 8 o'clock games are
tough, man.
And we come in early, but I mean, just for someone that has to get their kids to school the next day and get into their normal routine of just, hitting the bell at 8 o'clock at work, that's still, we got family and kids and all that. It's a lot to get through. So I think that you're right. There'll be a number of sellouts next year, as close as they are right now. Maybe they get it sold out for the season. We'll see. Hey, brought to you by Riley Farm Dental at 5901 Riley Park Drive, right at the entrance to Riley Farms. Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan make it comfortable and easy for their patients every time to enjoy their trip to the dentist, because a lot of people just get a little anxious about sitting in the dentist chair. They try to make it easy and comfortable, whether it's braces or implants or cosmetics or just a general checkup for getting your teeth cleaned and the annual x-rays and all the things that you need to do on a routine basis to make sure you got great dental health. That's one of the reasons they've been voted top 3 best of the best for the last 4 years. So find out why Riley Farm Dental is perfect for you and your family. 479-226-3500 or read more online at RileyFarmDental.com.
Sam Spiegelman, Rivals.com national recruiting analyst, joins us next.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
Hey, this is Billy Ray Smith Jr., and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Burton Pools and Spas is your source for backyard fun. Cool off in your own above-ground pool this summer. Cash and carry savings at only $19.99. Don't miss this opportunity to make your backyard fun this summer. Ask about Burton's full line of Doughboy above-ground pools that are built to last for years. Cash and carry savings on above-ground pools going on now at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and always online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
At any of the Clay Maxey companies, it's just an easy, customer-centered experience. We wanted to make it a one-stop shop, so we added Kawasaki and Can-Am and Hustler and Worldline. It's really been a nice add for us. We provide full service. We're doing pickup and delivery. We were able to add the Vexus line, which is a premier basketball line. We want to make it easy. We want you to visit us at any of the Clay Maxey companies, Clay Maxey Ford and Harrison, Berryville, Motorsports, Marine, or Clay Maxey NWA.
Wheels RV in Springdale wants you to seek out all the Natural State has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels RV was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. 5 miles west of I-49, exit 72. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This time of year is hectic, and we know you have things to do and places to be. Southern Tire Mart can help you get there and save you money on America's most trusted brands like Michelin and BF Goodrich. Take advantage of our $29.95 oil change, which includes a 27-point vehicle inspection. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart just off I-540 at exit 14 in Fort Smith today for quality Michelin and BF Goodrich tires and the best-in-class service. Get where you need to be with Michelin, BF Goodrich, and Southern Tire Mart.
Fridays is bringing a world of flavor to your table. Come by your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith and explore new appetizers and cocktails inspired by Fridays around the world. New appetizers like Wing Around the World and the Potato Skin Passport. Check out our new ultimate cocktails like the Double Berry Mojito. Stop in or order online for convenient curbside pickup at Fridays.com. Come taste a world of flavor at your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
When fun finally returns, Bud Light legends don't just come back. They come roaring back. carrying a cooler full of Bud Lights, an inflatable dolphin, and those Velcro pads with the balls that stick to them. And this summer, with a cooler at their side, they're gonna make up for all the fun we've missed. Welcome back, Bud Light Legends. It's time to take summer by the coolers. Cooler up at BudLightLegends.com. Enjoy responsibly. 2021 AB Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
When was the last time you looked forward to seeing the dentist? Well, if it's been a while or you haven't had the best of experience with dentistry, meet Marcy Van Ash McKinney Family Dentistry. They take care of it all: crowns, bonding, dentures, bleaching, and cosmetic dentistry. They even offer oral consciousness sedation available for your comfort. That's Marcy Van Ash McKinney Family Dentistry at 807 South 21st. Call for an appointment today, 494-7600. That's 494-7600.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch, dinner, and brunch. Open 7 days a week, both on the patio and cozy dining room. River City Bistro, locally owned and open weekdays 11 till 8, Saturdays 10 till 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
During the month of August, Frank Rowe Furniture is having a store-wide super sale. That's huge savings for everyone. Savings on furniture, mattresses, dining sets, and appliances. Frank Rowe Furniture is also offering discounts on cash and finance through Snap Financing. Only $39 down. You heard right, $39 down. Family-owned and serviced after the sale. Frank Rowe Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
Franks pumps once. He wanted to go deep. Everybody was covered. Now he's going to heave it downfield. He's got Burks at the 20, complete. Treylon inside the 10. Burks is at the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas! Treylon Burks!
Don't forget about Dollar Sausage Biscuits at Hardee's this Friday in Fort Smith, Northwest Arkansas, and Sallisaw locations.
All right, coming up, Sam Spiegelman, Rivals.com national recruiting analyst, is going to join us. Shamar Easter just committed to Arkansas, the 2023 class, not from Ashdown, from Ashdown. Big difference. So we'll get his thoughts on Shamar and some other players that have committed and signed with Arkansas since, coming up here on the Morning Rush.
Hey, the Arkansas Department of Health just wants to remind everyone we've seen the numbers, and the current surge or rise in COVID cases seems to be north of 2,500 positive tests every day in our state right now. Hospitalization numbers still well north of 1,000 Arkansans that are in the hospital with COVID right now. In fact, it's like 1,350 today on the last report. The good news is the vaccination numbers have went in the right direction. We're almost to 1.2 million Arkansans that have received their vaccination. So if you're looking for more information, you're not sure, you're hearing the reports, not sure of what you're reading is the information you need, go to healthy.arkansas.gov and find out more. In fact, you can find the nearest location closest to you to get your vaccine. They're free, they're available, and easily accessible to all Arkansans 12 years and older. So we're seeing younger, healthier people that get COVID, and we're not here to tell you that if you get the vaccine, you're not going to get it, but what the numbers are saying, what the stats are telling us, is that it's 100% effective in preventing severe COVID. So if you want to stay out of the hospital and prevent severe illness, this seems to be a great game plan for that. Again, healthy.arkansas.gov or call 1-800-985-6030.
All right, Sam, thanks for making some time for us this morning. Let's start with the player that's fresh on everyone's mind, 4-star Shamar Easter. Arkansas now has 2 tight end recruits in the 2023 class. What can you tell us about Shamar, and how highly was he coveted, not just across Arkansas, but across the SEC?
Yeah, Shamar is he's a new age tight end, kind of that flex tight end. I mean, for Ashdown, he'll line up in line, he'll line up as a receiver. He kind of does it all, but he's every bit of about 6'5". He's a skinny kid, so he's going to put on muscle when he gets to Arkansas. He worked out at a number of different places over this offseason when things opened up. A lot of schools wanted to see what he looked like in person and see, how he looked against top competition, and I think he really impressed them. He's a triple sport athlete, track and field. He's on the relay teams. You can see that when he runs downfield. He's a long strider. He's also a basketball player. You can see that on the receiving end. He's so smooth, so natural, and I think he has a case to be the number one player in the state of Arkansas. He already is that for 2023, and people this year, and I think that'll pay dividends on the recruiting trail.
Yeah, Sam, we've been looking at kind of what the future looks like if the Big 12 goes away at some point, as some projected will with Texas and Oklahoma's move. Where's Arkansas's opening to improve recruiting? I was just looking at the 23 numbers and the top 300 players. 47 of the top 300 in the 23 class are in Texas. 15 of the top 60. You look at Florida; they got 11 of the top 100. So. I guess, is Arkansas's opening if the Big 12 does diminish once Texas and Oklahoma go away and those schools disperse and go elsewhere, trying to pick up some of those other players in Texas? What's the best path for Arkansas to consistently be a top 15, top 20 national recruiting program?
Well, if you want to recruit Texas, if you want to recruit Louisiana, you want to recruit the schools around Arkansas, they have stiff tests. It's not an easy task. It's not easy to go into Texas and beat out Steve Sarkisian and the way that they're recruiting and that staff that he put together with a lot of former Alabama coaches. They're used to having success that, they have to prove a lot on the field, and I think a lot of people are going to have eyes on that. But, Texas has a lot of power as a university, and the same goes for Oklahoma. So just come into the state of Texas and recruit against Texas A&M, against Oklahoma, TCU, Texas Tech. SMU is recruiting as like a Power 5 team. That's going to be a lofty task. And Arkansas has, what they've been doing is kind of going into these neighboring states and trusting their own evaluations, which are proving to be, correct as we're seeing on the field. They've dipped into Louisiana in the past. They've dipped into Oklahoma in the past. Because of Sam Pittman's connections to Georgia, they've dipped into Georgia. And, talented states like Georgia and Florida have enough talent where if you get to You know, you can get some of the top guys, some of the middle tier guys. You know, they're all good players. You know, even in deep states. I just see, you know, I see this SEC domination because you look at the programs that are going to be under this bubble, and you're going to have the Alabamas and Georgias and Floridas recruiting with the Texas, Oklahomas, and LSUs of the world, and it's all the best players are going to be under one conference. That's just how it looks. You know, with the exceptions of the Florida States and the Ohio States and USCs of the world, but I'm not really sure where this is heading from an entire college football conference landscape angle, but from recruiting, it definitely levels the playing field for Oklahoma and Texas that have been getting edged out by Bama and Georgia and A&M over the last couple of cycles because that SEC bias is going to be eliminated. I just think that's more competition for Arkansas for some of those same guys, but if Pittman's savvy, as he's shown to be, he'll find guys in crazy parts of the South, and they'll turn out to be pretty decent players, as we've seen with Shamar.
In the new coming SEC with Texas and Oklahoma, which state from a recruiting standpoint is going to be the most fertile or the most important in the SEC footprint? Will it be Florida or will it be Texas long-term, in your opinion?
You know, it's a toss-up because, you know, on a given cycle, you know, in 2022, Texas is extremely top-heavy. I think there's between 40 and 50, I have the number somewhere, of kids ranked in the Rivals 250 for 2022, and almost a fifth of them are from the state of Texas. If you look to the Rivals 250 for 2023, Florida is the substantial leader over Texas. So it definitely shifts and varies from cycle to cycle. But you're looking at Texas, Georgia, Florida, and even Louisiana to a degree, and Alabama. All these states are 20 to 30 players deep with Power 5 talent at least. So you're going to be, you know, Texas is going to be chopped up between Texas, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, and LSU, and you're going to go down to Florida, and you're going to have Florida versus, and you know, Florida State and Miami are still going to recruit against Georgia and Alabama. I mean, these races are just going to get tighter and tighter, and there's going to be less to differentiate between SEC teams when they're all in the same conference.
Sam Spiegelman with us here on the Morning Rush, national recruiting analyst and expert at Rivals. Sam, I think Arkansas football, high school particularly, it is looked at in the SEC as just way lower than everyone else. How does the state of Arkansas improve its high school recruiting rankings year after year?
You know, that's a loaded question for sure, but you know, I don't know if it's necessarily as much as it's viewed in any sort of way or through any sort of lens that it's inferior by any means. You know, I've never been to an Arkansas prep game. I've watched a lot of Arkansas football tape, and probably the thing that stands out to me is maybe there's less certainty about the level of competition that you line up to on a Friday night. So for me, you know, if I'm watching Shamar Easter's tape and he dominates, you know, when you watch Shamar Easter, he is the best player on the field on any given Friday night, you know, unless you're playing a certain team that's got, you know, Amarion Harris or Isaiah Sategna, you know, some of these teams with multiple Power 5 kids, you know. I think the biggest thing is when these kids from Arkansas, because of where they're located, you know, just above Texas and Louisiana, I think they just need to come to some more national events where they can put their best against other best, and they can kind of say, like, you know, I always had this theory, if you dominate on high school, I don't care if you're playing private school at the 1A level or public school at the 7A level. If you dominate, then you dominate. Mm-hmm. But if you take them out of that setting and put them in a different setting, will that continue, or will they kind of fold and buckle under pressure? So someone like Shamar is, you know, he dominates on Friday night. The context was then putting him in Atlanta and then Dallas and let him go against DBs and linebackers and safeties from different parts of the country. And we really got a good feel for how good Shamar is, and he's obviously a top 100 player. And, you know, hopefully we catch him on a Friday night before he signs the papers to go to Arkansas. But, you know, if you dominate, you dominate. It's as simple as that. It's still high school football. These traits translate. And each year, you know, Arkansas has more or less talent. This 2022 class is pretty loaded in Arkansas. It's very top-heavy with, I believe, 4 stars from the state for 2022, and Shamar is the only 4-star for 2023. But, you know, some years are just a little bit more fruitful with talent than others.
Sam, we really appreciate your time. this morning. Sam Spiegelman, national recruiting analyst for Rivals. We really appreciate it, man. Hopefully we'll get a chance to catch up with you at some point if Arkansas continues to get top-tier kids.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, and I'd be remiss if I didn't give a shout-out to my mama. She's a big fan of y'all. That's Greg Brooks Jr.'s grandma, and she's a big fan. I just wanted to say hi to her.
Okay.
Well, great. That's awesome.
Awesome, Sam. Appreciate the time. Yeah, I got a message this morning. Razorbacks Mama. It's her favorite morning show. I didn't know who that was.
Well,
apparently, it's Greg Brooks's.
Well, good morning,
mom.
Mama.
Yeah, good morning, Mama. All right, for Tommy, Drew, I'm Ty. Good show. We'll do it again tomorrow.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area.